I have a big community and I publish and research market. This is my routine. I'm not focused at education or mentoring. I'm just publish my idea for public. It's for free. It's in TradingView. I publish every day, every week. My ideas, my view on the market, on crypto, on forex, in any financial instruments. So I just discover the market, what is success for trader. Before I want to fix in this area. I want to stay in this area, and after I focus at the money, I want to make a big money. So now I'm just enjoying the market, and that's why I participate in this tournament. I like to work in this area, in financial market area. I'm not expect about other traders, about other trader, because I don't know their trading style, their performance. So I'm just focused at myself. I want to achieve victory in everything what I do.
Web 3.0. Is it just hype, a tech buzzword, or is it genuinely the next evolution of the internet, set to change how we live, work, and interact online? To really get Web 3.0, we need a quick trip down memory lane. Remember the internet of the 90s? That was Web 1.0. Think static websites like digital brochures or encyclopedias. You could read information, but you couldn't really interact much. It was the read-only web. Think GeoCity pages, maybe Netscape Navigator if you were there. It was revolutionary for its time, giving us access to information like never before, but it was largely a one-way street. Then came the mid-2000s, and the internet exploded with interactivity. This is Web 2.0, the internet most of us know today, the read-write web. Suddenly, we became the creator. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, they allow us to connect, share content, build communities, and shop online seamlessly. User-generated content became king. But Web 2.0 has a catch. While we create the content, large corporations own the platforms. They control the data, the algorithms, and the rules. Our digital lives are largely hosted in centralized silos owned by a handful of tech giants. Think about it. Your photos, your posts, your connections, your whole online identity, they all exist on servers owned by someone else. You have access, but you don't truly own it. This centralization brought convenience, but also concerns about data privacy, censorship, and single points of failure.
I'm waiting for a Web3 internet, and I'm a big fan of all guys who is creating Web3 platforms and blockchain, and they probably will change our world in the next 5-10 years. If I'm trading in DEX market, there are a whole industry of decentralized platforms where you can trade easily any pairs in many DEX exchange, or you can easily create meme coin in one moment, or you can hold your money or NFT in special wallet and receive incomes, or you can even build a business in Web3 application, receive crypto, and no one will suspend you in this world.
And that brings us to the doorstep of Web 3.0, often called the read-write-own web. So what is Web 3.0 fundamentally? At its heart, Web 3.0 is about shifting the power back to the users. It's an idea, a movement, and a collection of technologies aiming to create a more decentralized, transparent, and user-controlled internet. Instead of data being stored on servers owned by single companies, Web 3.0 leverages technologies like blockchain, the same tech behind cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Imagine data distributed across thousands of computers worldwide. No single entity controls it all.
I don't think it's that can apply to trading, can apply in the real economy, because with the tokenization of the asset, we can liquidate some asset, okay, that is not so simple to create a liquidity. The tokenization can push this sector. And is also important because the cost of tokenization is so down instead of the other asset, okay? So it's simple to tokenize some asset, and it's simple to liquidate some asset in this way. So I think it's a really best creation of efficiency in the market.
And while transparency is key for transactions, Web 3.0 aims to give users more control over who sees their personal data and how it is used. Instead of handing over data wholesale to platforms, you might grant specific, revocable permissions for certain applications to access only the data they need, often managed through your crypto wallet, acting as a digital identity hub. The goal is to move away from the data as the product model of Web 2.0.
AI, especially AI agents, will be a great, huge role in the next few years. Even now, when there are some solutions where AI agents can trade on your exchange without you, and all markets today are definitely is building with AI. Who is building them in real time. This is 100%.
I think that AI is very useful to analyze data. I use it I just give the AI a lot of data and I look for trends, I look for maybe statistics, and it helps me a lot improving my strategies as well, because it can take a lot of raw data and generate results from them, some insights from them. And so it's really important to implement it in your strategies, backtesting, analysis, and so on.
Well, we are still in the early innings like the dial-up era of Web 1.0, but the ripples are already spreading. Decentralized finance aims to rebuild traditional financial services on the blockchain, removing intermediaries like banks. It offers potential for greater access and transparency, but also comes with risks and regulatory hurdles.
You can't do any manipulation when you don't have supplies or a lot of money for pumping. If you are doing pumping, other guys will kill you because they got supply. Supply is the main point for doing any manipulations. I'm really fine for AI trading, especially when you can train in your own neural network for trading, and I definitely will use AI agents in the next few years. Especially, actually, I'm building one AI agent right now.
So there you have it. Web 3.0 isn't just a technical upgrade. It's a philosophical shift towards a more open, fair, and user-centric internet. We've journeyed from the static pages of Web 1.0 through the interactive but centralized platforms of Web 2.0 to the emerging read, write, own era of Web 3.0 built on blockchain, decentralization, and user ownership. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. There are hurdles to overcome: user-friendliness, scalability, regulations, and weeding out the bad actors. But the potential to reshape finance, creativity, gaming, community building, and our fundamental relationship with the internet is immense. We are witnessing the foundations being laid for the next chapter of the digital world. It might take time, it will definitely evolve, but understanding Web 3.0 today is key to navigating the internet of tomorrow. The mental intensity of crypto trading, the emotional highs and lows, is a psychologically demanding activity requiring discipline and strategy. But the intensity of crypto stretches far beyond the trading screen. Whether you are an active trader, a long-term investor, or just crypto curious, navigating this space carries inherent risks that go deeper than just market fluctuations. Today, we are shifting focus from the psychology of trading to the critical practice of self-protection. Because alongside the incredible innovation and potential within crypto, there exists a very real danger of slipping into huge financial losses, or worse, losing access to your hard-earned investments entirely through scams, hacks, or simple mistakes. This isn't about spreading fear, it's about fostering awareness and equipping you with the knowledge and habits necessary to engage with cryptocurrency more safely and confidently. Consider this your guide to building a personal security framework in the digital frontier. Before we dive into the practical steps for protection, let's clearly outline the twin threats that loom large in the crypto space: significant market losses and the potentially more devastating permanent loss of access or theft. Market-driven losses are to some extent part of the territory. Cryptocurrencies are notoriously volatile. Prices can swing dramatically based on news, sentiment, technological developments, or broader economic factors. Entering this market means accepting this volatility. Poor timing, emotional decision-making like panic selling during dips, or over-leveraging can certainly amplify these losses, turning manageable downturns into significant financial setbacks. This aspect ties back to trading discipline and risk management, which are crucial in this business. However, the second category of risk is often more final and unforgiving. We are talking about scenarios where your investment doesn't just decrease in value, but vanishes entirely or becomes irretrievably locked away. Unlike traditional finance, where banks might recover funds or reset passwords, often in crypto, especially with self-custody, there is no central authority to appeal to. The responsibility and the risk falls entirely on you. Understanding these stark realities emphasizes why robust self-protection isn't just advisable, it's absolutely essential. Understanding the threats is the crucial first step. Now let's focus on constructing your defenses, building them layer by layer, with practical strategies and habits. Think of this as fortifying your own personal crypto citadel. Do your own research. Your most fundamental layer of protection is knowledge. Before investing a single dollar or euro, which is especially relevant as of May 2025, commit to educating yourself.
I prioritize on-chain data and data in general over what some idiot says on Twitter. I've done this for long enough to be able to tell, whether a project is worth investing in or not. And the thing I always tell people when they ask me, should I invest in this company or in this project? What I always say is, the best companies to invest in is essentially a company that solves an issue that you are facing. So whenever I have an issue, whether it's in crypto or in the real world, if I then see a company that is providing me with solving that problem, I know that it's solving that same problem for thousands of other people. And so that's the companies that I invest in. And I couldn't care less what Facebook or Twitter is saying about my investment. That's what I do, and it works well for me.
Volatility, risk management, and diversification. With a foundation of knowledge, the next layer involves managing the inherent chaos of the market. As we've established, volatility is a given. Rather than fearing it, accept it and plan for it. This starts with the golden rule: only invest what you can genuinely afford to lose. This isn't just financial advice, it's psychological armor. Knowing that a market downturn won't jeopardize your essential finances helps you make more rational decisions and avoid panic selling.
The biggest challenge was, facing the loss of money, because at the very beginning, I started during a strong bull market and I felt like a genius. Everything was going up, every trade was in profit, and I was like, oh my God, I'm a genius. And then the market crashed and I discovered that I'm not a genius. I was just, on the right place at the right time. And when the market turned, I just lost everything, and that's what was one of the biggest challenges. Understanding that you're not a genius, that you have to learn better and become a better trader at the end of the day. And that's what motivated me to become one as well.
Spotting the predators. Moving beyond managing market forces, we enter the realm of active threats. Scams designed to separate you from your crypto. Your skepticism and vigilance are your primary weapons here. Always operate under the fundamental principle: if it sounds too good to be true, it almost certainly is. Promises of guaranteed high returns with little or no risk are massive red flags in any investment context, especially crypto.
Because I'm an influencer, scam projects are coming to me every day, but I know how to recognize them. I saw them hundreds, maybe thousands in the last 8 years, so I know all or mostly of their standards, and if they call me, I usually skip that and never involve in such scam, especially for my subscribers.
Essential security practices. Finally, let's discuss the technical nuts and bolts of securing your assets. This is where diligence in process is paramount. First and foremost is wallet security. Understand the difference between hot wallets, which are connected to the internet and convenient for small amounts or active use, and cold hardware wallets. Offline devices best for storing significant amounts long-term. For any substantial crypto holdings, a hardware wallet from a reputable brand is widely considered the gold standard.
I think regardless of your experience, you're still human and bound to fall victim of emotion. And so that is what I would say even experienced traders will experience every now and then, me included. And that is especially when I don't follow my rules in terms of trading on a day where I've had an argument with a relative of mine or something like that, because that is just bound to psychologically make you make mistakes, essentially, right? And so even though I'm experienced, I will still fall victim to emotional trading. I just do it less now than I did at one point, but I'm still human, right? I can rewire my brain, but I can't turn into a robot. And so that's really what it is. Regardless of your experience, you will have times where you fall victim to emotion, and that reflects on your P&L.
Protecting yourself in the world of cryptocurrency isn't a one-time setup. It's an ongoing commitment to diligence, skepticism, and continuous learning. We have journeyed from acknowledging the inherent risks, both market-driven and security-related, to building a multi-layered defense strategy. This involves laying a strong foundation through education, managing market volatility with sound risk management, sharpening your senses to spot and avoid the myriad of scams, and meticulously implementing robust technical security measures, like using hardware wallets, safeguarding seed phrases religiously, enabling strong two-factor authentication, and practicing transaction vigilance. The crypto space offers fascinating opportunities, but it demands respect for its risks. By taking these protective measures seriously, by staying informed and vigilant as we navigate 2025 and beyond, you empower yourself to participate more safely and confidently in this evolving digital landscape. Your security is ultimately in your hands. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay vigilant.
Hello everyone, my name is Muse. I'm from Kazakhstan, East Central Asia. I'm 30 years old, married, very happy person. So I'm a trader. I'm biggest crypto influencer in Central Asia. My first trade was in 2016 when Bitcoin price was in 1,600 for one Bitcoin. That was my first long. I lost a lot of money for 3 years. I trade like a casino, and then I understand that trading is a very big science. That I last my 4 years. I am a full-time trader. I love trading. That's my main profession, and I won WSOT championship 2 years ago. I'm into 1,000 best traders in WSOT championship. So that's my trade way. I really learn my emotions, my mental, my health, and I really try to trade like a not casino, like a really system trading. I try a lot of strategies. I read a lot of books. I saw a lot of YouTube video. So the main idea when I became a profitable trade, that I find the strategy. The strategy works only for me because I control my emotions, I control my risks, and I just use simple candle typical waves analysis. That's my strategy. And these things really make my trading profitable. I have open statistics in my YouTube channel. Everyone can see my P&Ls. So that's why I have a lot of subscribers, because I just show my tradings. And yes, that's this way I spent maybe 4 years when coronavirus happened. From this moment, these 4 years make me a profitable trader, yeah. My main style is positions trading, called my strategy. It's about when I trade like open one positions in first 6 months, and I can hold my positions really long time. The main idea is not make a lot of moves in markets. Main idea, don't move, just hold, and don't close your profit earlier. So that's my main strategy, but in this tournament I shoot to scalping. I'm not a scalper, I'm not a swing trader, and that's why I'm a little bit disappointed, because I should trade in not my zone, it's not my area, it's not my comfortable time frames, and let's challenge me. It will be very interesting. I combine trading with yoga. I make yoga every day, every morning, and doing yoga every night, because trading it's crushing my mental health, and this recovery gyms really help to make my trading profitable. I'm doing sports. I go to gym 3 times a week. I love gaming. I love skateboarding, snowboarding, surfing. I have a lot of hobbies, and my activities really help to my trading, because my friends tell about me I'm like a machine. I'm trading like machine. I am doing sport like machine. I use a lot of diet. I can't eat sugar. I can't eat gluten, desserts, and this really machine routine. In this tournament, traders like heroes. That's why I really glad that you organizers make this tournament. So thank you so much, because when I say to people I'm a trader, a lot of people think that about you are a scammer and you are some strange person. What is cryptocurrency? And in this tournament, you show traders to people like heroes, and that's a very cool idea. So I talk with my colleagues. What I want to say, they looks very big than me, because I'm like a little Asians. The people from Europe. I'm really glad that I'm happy that it's not like UFC fighting, or just about brain fighting, because in UFC and another sports I lost. I lost, yeah. That's my decision. Maybe I have only one skills if we compare than another traders. I'm a professional street dancer before. And when I saw scene, I'm feeling very good. Seeing people streaming, it's my lifestyle, and I don't feel some emotions. I'm happy. That's my area, and maybe I can give show for people, and that's my idea. That's my very good skill. So, but I'm not the best trader, I think, because I saw a lot of amazing scalpers, and in this tournament we have a lot of scalpers. They are better than me, but if the markets go to my strategy, maybe I have some little bit person to win, but I came here just for relax, hang out, and show my strategy. Let's get a show.
Hello, my name is Maxim Hamacha. I am trader since 2006, was trading stocks till 2017 and then skipped to the crypto, and that was one of the best decisions in my life. Now I'm all in crypto, meme coins, active trading, and so on, and content making about crypto topics. I started trading when I was 17, almost 18. I was starting trading in prop trading company in my native city, where we trade in US equities, Nasdaq, NICE, and that journey took many years before crypto. And that way helped me to build a great fundamental of future successful trading, and my trades today depends from my experience in stock trading from 2006. You can't measure in one day about all your trading strategies. Totally, I made thousands of trades during my life, and every trade, every period of your work creates discipline for you. I got terrible days with losses, I got great days with profits, but you can't measure in one point about that. I'm not a risky person, but I really love risk. I can't breathe without any risk. But if we're talking about crypto, I like to find especially volatile days where I can raise my risks few times, and this will be like the A+ day or the A+ risks, and all money is making in those few extra volatile days. The main habit I'm watching in like 5-15 minutes charts, whole market, hundreds of main tools every day, every week in many years. And if there are any changes in the market, I will meet it, and I will personally move them to my trading strategy. So I like to find anomalies. Because of trading is so risky and it's full of terrible energy, stress, disasters, I prefer to spend a lot of time on the nature, mountains, beaches, and so on. Forests, it's helped me to release from the negative and be missed to comes again to charts. When I started trading, the main lessons from the traders, veterans who were in industry 20 years plus, I receive it, and I'm moving with all those lessons till today, and they worked through the years. If I will be back when I was again 18 boy, probably I will tell to myself, do the same, do all the routine, listen to your veteran traders, and one day you will be successful. Just be patient. Success is in trading is your ability to bring money to your home. Not when you're over trading or you got big accounts, but then you're losing everything. You need every year, every month to bring something to your home, to put this money for the future. Need to make savings every time. When trading is boring to me, I've started to do more influencer job, making podcasts, not even with traders. I'm doing a lot of podcasts with famous people, with 10 million plus influencers, and then inspire me. I'm watching how they create their life, universe around themselves, and I'm inspired about that. When you trade, you should have passive incomes, because without them you will not survive. You can't expect that trading will feed you every day, every week, and you can't expect money from the market all the time. build your passive income, passive businesses and other activities, and then you can trade calm and take money when market can give it, but not when you ask a market to give you money. When I will be trading tomorrow in this competition, which should be really great, awesome and inspiring, there would be some new guys which thinks that they can beat me or other guys. My goal is I am really experienced and I got a market feeling when it's change or where we got anomaly. I don't know if they got such feeling, but we will figure out tomorrow about that.
All right, and we are back to the International Crypto Trading Cup 2025, powered by Whitebit. I am your host, Mark Principato. We have here my co-hosts again.
Gert van Laken from the Netherlands.
And
Alessandro Monterosso from Italy.
Great, great. So welcome back, guys. We just had ourselves a nice little lunch over here in Andorra. And I have to say, once again, I got caught with the American food. And you know what? This was thrust upon me because I was talking to our friend Nick. Nick ordered this beautiful salad. It looked like a freaking piece of art. It was beautiful. And I'm like, how come I don't have that? And you know what his answer was to me? You have to follow the Italians. We know everything about food. And I was like, oh, okay. So
You should have known by yesterday evening.
yes, I should have known that. You're right. But, you know, and I said, what is this? They gave me this because I'm American, because I had a hamburger, you know, and you know, we all don't eat hamburgers in the USA.
It was pretty fun. It was the classical stereotype about US versus Italian food. So you got the burger and Nick got the salad, the healthy salad.
Yes, the very healthy salad. I mean, man, that thing was healthy. So anyway, now I learned my lesson, and now I know next time I'm just going to eat what that guy's eating. So cool. Anyway, guys, welcome back. I'm glad you're enjoying the show so far. I'm having a lot of fun here. We're going to get into our second activity for the day. Do you guys know what that is?
Yes.
What is
so
it?
The second activity is going to be a giveaway of Whitebit merch. So please be engaged. We are going to show up a QR code on the screen. You are going to use your phone camera to log in into the Telegram group. And then this time, we're going to ask you some questions. You guys ask questions. So our moderator will pop up the winning question. We're going to apply the question. You're going to win a T-shirt.
Right. So this is what they call ask it, grab it.
Yes.
Right? And you at home, you're going to come in and you're going to click on that thing when it pops up, that QR code.
Here it is.
And there it is, people. Look, right, hold on, let me see if I can point to it. No, that way. No, this way. I can't see it.
Yeah, there.
There we go.
It's
Look,
on the left.
right there. Yeah. Click on that, right there. Okay, and you now have a minute to ask a question in the Telegram group, and then a moderator is going to pick a number of questions, and you're going to win a Whitebit T-shirt. Now, how cool is that? Have you guys seen the Whitebit T-shirt?
Absolutely yes, and they are super cool.
Really?
Really nice to walk away with it.
If this guy says that, then it must be cool. All right, so cool. So we got that.
Ticking.
Yes, time is ticking. Make sure you're clicking on that QR code and get your questions in as quickly as possible because you have less than a minute now to get your question in there. And then once that QR code is gone, you've missed your opportunity forever. I have to be a little dramatic there.
For today.
A little drama. All right, for today, because we're going to have other activities, of course. So this isn't the only time we're going to do this. So anyway, I can't wait to see some of these questions that we get from our winners. Once our moderator picks, we're going to see them up on the screen, and we're going to congratulate the people that win your Whitebit T-shirts. So go for it.
I'm very curious to know what those questions are about. Maybe about traders, maybe about strategies, maybe about charts. Who knows?
Right. And
Maybe they're in a different language.
right. Well, we're going to see because you know what? Time is now up. No more activities. So if you missed it, you're going to have to wait for the next one. But no problem. So in a minute here, we're going to see who our winners are, and we're going to see what kind of questions we received. And again, for those of you that submitted your questions, thanks for participating. Really appreciate that.
If I do reply a question, do I get the T-shirt too?
That's a good question, you know, and I would like a T-shirt, maybe.
I was wondering too.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. You know, because again, we have to compete too. Like they don't just give us stuff here.
Well, we've got a white bit sign here.
Oh yeah, we got the little
That's beautiful.
the little pin. Yeah, it's a nice touch. So we should have these here in just a minute. We're going to see who our winners are, and you know, again, for those white bit T-shirts, that's going to be a nice little add-on. Again, we're going to do this again. So this isn't the only time we have this activity. So tomorrow and tomorrow's stream, we're going to have it as well. And you're going to have other opportunities to win merchandise or gifts, vouchers from our sponsors. So, not sponsors, our partners, I meant. So here we go. Right now we have on the screen, the traders are still at it. I'm going to be very curious to see what these P&Ls look like here in just a few minutes when we get to that point. So how are we doing out there with these questions? We're going to have them here any second now, and we're going to know who our winners are. Okay, so it's going to be a little time. So what do you guys think about who is? We looked at this leaderboard before, right? And we saw that Mauro was pretty much ahead of the game, right? And we have Luca. Looks like Luca there. You can tell with this nice jacket, you know, the style there. And I mean, we haven't seen his P&L in a while, but he was one of the ones that was kind of having a little bit of a tough time. You think he's picked it up? I mean, look, the chart looks like, look at that breakout on that chart.
I hope he went long there.
I mean, a lot of these guys were short, remember? And that's what I was saying before. Like, when the general market is bullish, that is what you're up against. You know, like, it's very easy to get tricked into, oh, it's a resistance, I'm just going to short it. But not all support and resistance levels are created equal.
It looks like a double bottom there. But
where?
Well, he's like screening the assets, I see. So.
Okay. Now we're moving on to the next one. Who do we have here? We have to zoom in on those charts and we'll see what's going on. But these guys are seriously engaged. I mean, they are, just look at that focus. It's like the eye of the tiger. You ever see Rocky? Probably not. Okay, yeah, no, I can't get into American references here. All right, so anyway, yeah, these guys are focused. And I'll tell you, like I was talking to one of the traders just outside here, and we were just talking about like our styles. And I said to him, man, Friday, he goes, I know, it's tough to do this on a Friday. And I said to him, I don't envy your position, man. I would not want to be you right now because Fridays are a tough day to see big things happen. Because again, we're on the market schedule, not on our own.
Yeah, that's right. But there are a lot of theories which affect like the trading, right? So some people wear red socks. Yeah, so there are a lot of the McRib index. You know that? Have you ever heard about it?
What was that called?
Well, it's like the McDonald's having a certain sandwich. When it pops up, then people go along. It's really
kind of like that burger that they just made me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, but I'm just saying, like when you're dealing, certain days of the week have what I like to think of a certain type of seasonality. You know, like you can see a standard behavior over time, like on a Friday. So, you know, Friday afternoon, for example, volume tends to taper off. And this is like a common pattern. It happens every Friday, especially as we go into the summer, like in the US. You know, we have the spring months right now, but when we go from May into August, that's usually where we see a decline in volume up until August is where you get the lowest point. Usually like weeks 3 and 4, it's the worst time to look for momentum trades, the absolute worst. And, you know, so you kind of get a taste of that now.
Will it be always like that? Because
well, it's not always like it's
24/7. Like the market is open for working days, but maybe in future it won't.
Well, you would think that, but hey, before we talk about that further, look, we have our first winner. We have here Vlad. Hey, congratulations, Vlad. Here's his question: if you won a competition and feel like the best, what could be the next goal? That's an interesting question.
Well, maybe chilling at the beach.
Okay. Oh, we got 2 more here as well. We got from Vlad. Oh, this guy was on top of it. Oh,
that's the same question.
Same question
still.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Gert, what will you do if you'll be the big winner?
Well, sit back and relax, I guess.
Sit back and relax.
Enjoy. There's little time to enjoy.
That's true. You should always try to enjoy something, right? You have to
Exactly.
smell the flowers, they say.
Yeah,
Like the
don't
sniff
look
the
back,
flowers.
don't look into the future, but
Enjoy the moment,
exactly.
right? I know I have a problem. I got to do it more myself. How about you, Alessandro?
It really depends on the amount of cash I will pile in my price, right?
that's right.
But probably I will take some time off and then restart. By the way, Vlad, congratulations, you won a
Yes.
t-shirt.
Congratulations, Vlad. You got the first T-shirt.
It's coming all the way back to Ukraine.
Yeah. So our next host, our next winner here, we have, what is that, Manson?
Yeah.
Manson, congratulations. You won a T-shirt from Whitebit. And his question here is, what gonna be price of Bitcoin before the end of May?
You know how I call it this kind of question?
What kind
$1
of?
million question.
$1 million. That's right. If we knew.
I would say 200,000.
Oh, so he has a number.
By end of May,
Yeah,
shall we bet a pizza?
maybe. Yeah,
Because, I mean, you know, you kind of have to have a crystal ball, right? I mean,
and then
this-
300,000 in June, and then yeah.
you know, a broken clock can be right twice a day, right? They say. But yeah, that's the $1 million question. If we knew that, we would probably still be sitting here, maybe, most likely.
It's only a 2x, right? So it's gone up already 4x,
Okay.
multiple.
But
Multiple times.
yeah, so I mean, look, actually, the way you can answer this question is you can look at like basically average true range, or you could look at certain ranges and actually ask the question, what is within reason? And based on where we are right now, and based on where the momentum is, I think it's within reason to possibly test the high. I don't think 108 is unreasonable if we continue with this momentum, but I'd say between 105K and 108K, because that's, you know, the 108, 109 is the previous high. So
Yeah.
congratulations there. We have our next one.
Exhale.
Exhale. All right.
Exhale.
Congratulations for your T-shirt from Whitebit. Bullish or bearish? It would have been nice to know on what.
Yeah, in general, or today, or this week.
Like a little more
Bearish
specific
on,
there.
bearish on meme coins and bullish on utility coins.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cycle.
So, all right, so you're sort of looking at it that way. I mean, if we want to talk about specifics, we'll talk about Bitcoin. I mean, I've been bullish on Bitcoin. You could look at my analysis, so I definitely have lots of evidence of that. Everything I write is about bullish Bitcoin. So, and that's all coming from the price structure. It's not really just some random opinion. It's because I follow price structure very carefully. But great question. How about Alessandro? How about you? Bullish or bearish?
Long term is still bullish in this cycle, but I can't wait actually for a proper alt season to pop up again.
Oh, the next alt season, right?
Yeah,
We haven't-
can't wait for that as well.
Yes. If you were going into the next alt season, I mean, what's your top idea there? Like, what are you thinking?
I do think that we're going to see new memes popping up and getting billions in market cap, and reaching the market cap of the most known ones, for example, Pepe, and some others will just disappear. I'm just curious to understand whether it's going to be again this alt season on Solana chain, or if we're going back as old times on Ethereum.
Yeah, I think so. I think Solana has had its best time as well.
Well, that'll be
No advice from my side on that.
All right, no advice. That would be very interesting, though, to see. So, you know, again, look who we have. We have Max is back up here on our screen. And looks like, I mean, that chart that he's looking at, I mean, that looks like that hasn't changed much since we've looked at it before. I mean, that's the same. I see the same consolidation pattern. I see the same bullish trend. And it doesn't look like much has changed. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Max looks a bit bored maybe. It's the sideways range.
Yeah.
We have had the green candles coming in one after another, but now it's going sideways.
There's not much to do there. I mean, you have to wait for a breakout of some kind. In my case, I would be looking for the bullish breakout until the market proves otherwise. You know, if it starts breaking supports, because everything is always a big if, then I would start to adjust my opinion.
But maybe it's on a high time frame, a nice retest. I don't see the higher time frame chart here.
Right, what time frame is this? Can you even
It
see?
looks like 15 minutes.
Is that the 15 minute?
Yeah, it's like the 15 minutes chart.
So, I mean, that's a pretty, for day trades, that's a pretty decent size. Like, that's a heavy time frame. So, again, I would be betting on that breakout if I were him, but we'll have to find out.
Here we have Mas Money.
What's he up to here?
It looks like a breakdown.
Still scanning through charts, and looking. So these. See, that's interesting. I find that so interesting how they're just scanning for opportunities. He must be looking for certain types of patterns. or
Trend
something.
breaks and rising wedges I saw, and also a lot of indicators,
Yes.
like 4.
Yes. Yes.
But still, it seems that he is quite bearish. So, in his opinion, we're gonna go down soon. So probably is finding the right time and the right price.
Right, he's waiting.
to short something.
I saw some trend lines on that chart that he had briefly. I noticed he's drawing some trend lines.
Yeah.
And trend lines are like an art. They can be very subjective.
Yeah.
Some people draw them like they say, oh, I connect the candle tops or the high, the wick highs or lows. Some people, they do the open close of the candle. Some people do like what he's got right there. He's connecting a candle from, you can't see it on this chart, but it's an unusual.
The wick.
It's an unusual way. No, he was connecting what looked like a pattern that went back into like where the structure was actually broken, but he was still looking at that trend line, which I find that to be confusing. But sometimes those trend lines do have some relevance.
Trend lines are basically a range because of randomness.
Right. So
you should also always use a range.
one thing.
Losing the range.
Right. Right.
And horizontals are often way stronger than verticals.
I prefer the horizontal trend lines myself. But one thing about trend lines that, I prefer actually trend lines over these oscillators that it has, because you know what? You cannot project an oscillator into the future, but you can project a trend line. It doesn't mean that it's going to behave the way you expect, but it gives you a gauge. So you can gauge a trend line and you have some sort of price reference into the future. Whether you're using a classical trend line like that or a horizontal trend line.
Mm-hmm. And it's really a lot of market participants are looking at the same trend line.
Yes.
So there's always action around the trend line, like breaking down, retest, and then confirmation with volume analysis.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Because
so a lot of traders building trades around those lines.
Right. Right. But the more advanced traders tend to look at trend lines in ways that the typical trader does not look at. You understand? Like they usually look at it more in creative ways, because that is what you have to do to get some sort of advantage over the general population. Because if everyone's doing the same thing the same way, then in order to get some insight, to get ahead of that curve, you have to do things in an unusual way or unconventional way. And trend lines is a tool that you can use to find these unusual situations or these unusual setups in the market.
Yeah.
Now,
so far, Merlin was right about what he was expecting about the market. Look at him. Look at the dark blue trends. So he actually spotted the right thing. I'm curious to see whether he realized any profits based on his assumptions.
Still consolidating with like lower highs at the upside and higher lows at the bottom of the range. So looking for an entry maybe for when you get a lower low, like a breakdown or a break up.
Yeah.
But that's the boring thing about consolidation. Even on the higher time frames, we had a 7-month consolidation on Bitcoin last year. It was really, it was really boring. And for altcoins, we all know it was really bad.
Right, and that requires so much patience. I mean, yes, you can drill into the smaller time frames and try to find opportunities, but it's really going to depend on your style. What I like about Merlin over here, again, is he has these illustrations on these charts where he's shown us what his expectations are, and we're actually seeing how the market has either followed what he was thinking or not, right? And that's his guideline, basically.
On the left, we see a short opened in blue.
Is that?
I don't know if it's a live short which he opened, but it looks like.
Right, I see that blue square that he has on his chart there.
That looks like a short with the stop loss at the upside.
Okay. Now that's interesting, because in that situation, I certainly would be cautious on shorts.
He expects a
He's looking for the breakout, right? He's looking for the break, or the break of the support, whereas I would be anticipating the fake out, the reversal, and I'd be looking for longs. But again,
he has not the time. He needs
But you're sitting on support practically right there.
Yeah.
You know, you're sitting on support. So again, it's all up to the market. Do you get the confirmation or not? Because, like I said, I could sit here all day long and talk about longs. If the market doesn't agree with me, it doesn't matter what I think or say. So it's really going to depend on what he's anticipating and if the market shows it to him or not. And, you know, otherwise you can't force it. So, but I like his illustrations because, again, it gives us insight into what he's thinking exactly, where the other traders, we don't really get much insight. Like here, for example, you know, Kostya, he shows us his charts, and they're clean charts, which is nice. He has the support zone there, which, again, is a nice reference point as far as what, you know, what your decision making should be. Again, leaning on longs, I would be thinking.
He's using also this moving average. You see it breaks down, then retest the moving average, and then again, and builds a long below it.
You know what that looks like? I don't know for sure if that's what it is, but that looks like the volume-weighted moving average, but I can't tell. I can't tell if that's a regular because I can't see it from here.
It's the only way moving average I like.
The volume-weighted moving average? Yeah, because basically it considers volume, where the other moving averages do not.
Take into account every fake move on low liquidity.
Right, right. So you have to understand the limitations of moving averages. I'm not a big fan. I don't like to use them a lot because, you know, when you have a trend, sure, everything works. But when you don't have a trend, they can be very confusing. You know, especially they start crossing over each other constantly, and they can throw you off. I mean, that's the experience that I've had.
Yeah, that's right. On high time frames, they're quite good.
Yeah, like I think that we are very close to an interesting situation because soon, with the candles and what we have seen so far for many of our traders, we're close to a resistance. So there are two options, right? Either we bounce back high, or we break and we go down. So I expect in the next couple of minutes that our traders will place either long or shorts. And it will be interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you there. I agree with that, and I'm betting on the long side here. I mean, I'm thinking that these guys, once it gets out of that midpoint area, right? If it can test that support, I'm betting on the long side because of all those bigger picture bullish structures that we saw. So I'm very curious to see. At some point, they're going to have to start making some magic because, you know, we have a finite time for these guys to do this, and they picked the hardest day. And maybe that's why Whitebit picked the hardest day, because
really show off their
because right, how, you know, if we had like a bullish trend the entire day, how easy would it be? Like these guys would have like all like $1 million P&Ls. Well, that was easy.
Yeah. And Whitebit didn't know as well.
Imagine the competition would have been like 2 days ago.
Right.
These guys will be like in profits and longing like X.
Right, they'd have like these ridiculous numbers, and the thing is, there are times when the market is actually easier, and you don't have to be so experienced to make money. That's very deceptive, and that usually fools the beginner, because the beginner, you know, who doesn't have much experience, they're like, oh, that was easy, I made money so easy, and it gives them a false sense of confidence, right? And then what usually happens after that? What happens is you get into a tough market, you don't know how markets actually work, and you wipe out all your money.
Yep.
That is a very common beginner experience because, again, you know, trends can be deceptively easy. You need to understand what drives the trend so that when the trend dries up, you understand what's going on and you can make better decisions. We have our main stage traders here. Let's see how this has changed.
So I think we are more than halfway to the first day of trading. So let's see what we have been up to. So Mauro is still in pole position with almost 5,000 USDT. It didn't change.
Realized.
It didn't change. I realized it didn't change compared to our last check. But we can see that he has a few potential open positions with 1,500 USDTB unrealized. And then second place again with Malik, so same top three. He has almost 1,000 in realized and $300 in unrealized.
But what stands out is mass money, right? With 14,000 down, at a realized P&L.
Yeah.
Is that 14,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been there before with 200K, so
So this
he's
is
used to it.
Yes.
Maybe it's a strategy. To first
Let's see what is.
start out in
yeah.
a hole as much as possible, and then he's going to blast off like a rocket. Okay, no problem. All right, so look, hey man, it happens. He's going to have to figure it out. But I mean, the leaderboard. Besides that, I'd say it hasn't changed a whole lot. I mean, look at Merlin. He's still at what is that, $48, $46? He's still flat. He's still waiting for something to happen. But he's sticking to his plan. I mean, sometimes if that's all you can do, that's all you can do. Sometimes it's hard to adjust on the fly like that. But Luca.
they all had the same chance, like Moro, right? So he's really standing out here.
But
Yeah.
they all had the same chance, but they all don't have the same strategy.
No, exactly.
So I mean, Moro knew to be aggressive. He went with the aggressive route early on, and he was correct. And I mean, look, he still dominates the leaderboard there. No one's even close to him.
Also,
No,
the
I think
P&L
it
in
is-
realized of him is like the highest realized P&L of all others.
All
Right.
together, the sum of them.
together.
Yeah.
Right.
Bravo, Mauro. Congratulations for
Yeah,
that.
Yes, we have to
You
congratulate
can
him.
sleep now.
I mean, he can take a break, but who knows? Someone can just come up right from behind him, and some trade comes along, maybe some sort of breakout,
Yeah.
and next you know, Malik could be ahead, even though he's decently behind. It could change very quickly,
Yeah.
right? And that's the exciting thing. I'll tell you what's scary about this is Friday. What's tomorrow going to be like, man? Saturdays are like horrendous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Well, Bitcoin is pumping, and what I know from previous bull markets is that weekends can be really exciting.
they can be. I've seen, because I used to mess around with Saturday trades, and you can see it. Let's take a look at Motto's open positions right now.
He's shorting
He's shorting, yeah.
50x, okay.
Still with that leverage. So he has what,
Margin.
Bitcoin, the Bitcoin perp, and he's got Pepe.
Yeah. So he realized just $9 on that, and again $1,000 to realized. Probably is looking for an exit price soon on the sell. Who knows? And on Pepe, I think so. The margin is $500 x 50, so $25,000. But is still unrealized for $100. You know what will be interesting to see? The risk aversion of people at the end of today, because we're going to see whether people go and rest with open positions.
That would be
Or if
interesting.
they
That's
all
interesting.
close them and wait to reopen tomorrow. Who knows?
That's a big risk, though, because something can go wrong overnight and completely ruin your position.
It
They can
depends
set
on-
stop
yeah.
losses, right?
Yeah, it depends on how much risk they
And
take
take profits. So maybe we awake tomorrow with a whole different leaderboard.
Right, we can have a completely...
Exactly.
Right. So Malik over here,
exciting.
which is our
Nice.
our number 2 guy. What does he have here? He has Bitcoin, and he has, what's the other one there?
Ondo, yeah.
Oh, okay, Ondo.
Yeah, it's a zero size, so it's not a trade.
He's shorting too, BTC. So is on the first two traders, the two of them are shorting BTC. Similar entry price, and but he got it big. So he has a size of almost $130,000 with the 10x in leverage. So this PNL, unrealized PNL, might be very big if we see the resistance broken downwards.
Right, so we can see a big change there.
Yeah.
Now comparing Maro and
Moro
and
got
Malik.
in way earlier.
So
Like
I mean,
$200.
look, again, it seems like one of the common themes here. What's really helping this guy be number one? The leverage. I mean, look, he's at 50x, right, and Malik's at 10. So the aggressiveness seriously paid off because.
But he is also a big stack bully in in the meantime, right? He can take some more
Right.
risk.
Right. But I mean, the thing is, being risk adverse in a tournament obviously is going to hurt you a bit if someone goes all in and he's aggressive and he's right. I mean, look, Mauro he took a pretty big risk there. He could have been wrong, and he could have been minus $4,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But it paid off.
What we
Meanwhile,
can see that-
everyone else is being careful.
Yeah, is very aggressive, but both of them, if you check that, they didn't set any take profit or stop loss. So they are checking their positions in real time, and I think they are using their time margin, so they're not trading in isolated mode. So they are using the full 50,000 they have as potential margin, because we can see a liquidation price which is very high. Compared to a 50x leverage, 133,000 for BTC, it means he's using his entire margin, his entire bag.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's why probably he didn't set any stop loss.
Right, right. So basically, so for him, it's either my position works or I get margined out of my position, I get liquidated.
Well, or he wants to quit by hand.
Yeah, probably is that.
I guess that.
You mean exit the position manually? Is that?
Yeah, exactly. But
I tell you, manual exits. I guess for the tournament you can do one thing
50x.
with them. But yeah, manual exits. If there's a spike the wrong way, man, that could be tough because you get out at a much worse price than you were expecting. That's usually the problem
absolutely.
with the manual exits. So wow, so very interesting to see and how Mauro there has really not only jumped ahead, but he's maintaining his position while these other guys are still trying to work their magic and catch up to this guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
he has a lot of courage because 50x leverage with no stop loss, no take profit is quite dangerous. So it seems that probably is very focused on it, but I will feel stressed about it.
I mean, but when you have that kind of experience and you have that type of confidence, you're just, he's unfazed. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he just went all in and he's like, look, the market's either going to pay or it's just not. And he put it all on the line. That does take courage, but that also takes a lot of experience because a beginner trying to do the same thing, their result would more likely be random compared to a guy like this. He probably spotted something very specific that gave him that confidence to do this type of deal to make it, to go all in and get that kind of P&L. But I just think it's great that, aggressiveness is the thing that paid off. While being a little less aggressive, now you got to come back.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be forced to be aggressive when it might not be a good time. And Mauro can just relax and be like, I don't even have to take any more trades because, I'm ahead.
This is ICTC. We are here. This is a challenge, and this is a masterclass for the viewers to learn. But this is also a competition. So they need. They are probably warming up a bit their engines, and then we'll start soon because also the time is ticking. We are more than half of the day one trading. So we'll see what happens soon.
Right. All right. Great. And you know what? I got a nice treat for everyone here. We're going to have an interview with not one, but two of our traders. We're going to have Mauro and Malik together, and we're going to be able to ask them some questions and get inside their heads a little bit. So let's check that out. All right, so look, we have Mauro. A good job. Congratulations so far, Mauro. You are way ahead of the pack, and great job. And then we have Malik. Good to see you again. And we're going to ask you guys a few questions.
Yeah.
So let's begin with Mauro over here. Mauro, in the beginning, you were pretty confident with your strategy, and I remember you saying that you were going to be very aggressive to jump ahead of the crowd right away. I mean, obviously, you made the right choice. Can you just give us a little more insight as to what led you on that path? Can you tell us?
Please repeat, please.
Oh, I spoke too fast.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the question for you. You, in the very beginning, you were the most aggressive, and you described that to us before we even got started here. What prompted you? Was it something you saw in the charts that said to you, I'm going to go all in, I'm going to be very aggressive? What made you decide that was the right strategy for this tournament?
I decided the strategy using the American session, because there is an important information about what do Wall Street. And so in the session when it starts, I see a different type of my indicator, only volatility. And with this indicator, I can see that the trend after the start of American session could be short for a little hour, okay, because this is a challenge. So we have to trade like a day trade, like scalping. And I see that it's possible to reach a position also big and using a leverage. But also I have to construct this position. It's not one shot, okay? It's not only one trade. I did 3 or 4 trades per position. So I do this because I'm using scaling in, okay, in this trade.
Interesting. Wow. Okay, so you're able to build your position.
Yes.
You weren't going all in big right off the start, and you, as the market was confirming your position as it's working for you, you add to a winner. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. But
we saw you didn't use a stop loss. What's the strategy? You're talking to us right now. How do you manage?
Okay, I don't use a stop loss because I use a mental stop loss. Okay, I know where I have to stop my position. So it's not important to put it in the platform. But when you go in advantage on the market, you can also have the possibility to don't use stop loss because now I'm in advantage. Okay, so I have to trade my position and to manage this advantage, and so.
Do you keep being this aggressive, or are you planning to scale the leverage a bit down, maybe?
I don't know. I don't think about it now because I don't see a really interesting signal in the market now, and we are going to the second part of the session in US. So I think that a great volatility is done. So I think it's better to stay calm, okay?
Good points he made, because I was just telling you guys that Friday afternoons are the worst, and this guy just said the same exact thing.
In other words.
So right. So wow, very nice. Thank you, Mauro, for your insight.
Thank you.
So
let's target on your back, Mauro.
Yeah, we'll get back to you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get back to you.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk to Malik here a bit. Malik, how's it going over there? What can you tell us about your decision making so far?
I mean, I'm just doing what I do every day. You know, I'm not really doing a lot different. I might, approach the market a little bit different in terms of risk, but other than that, I'm doing the exact same thing that I do every day. So, yeah, it's pretty familiar.
I mean, you're number 2. Are you feeling any pressure right now? Like, will that pressure affect your? Like, you're going to make any adjustments to your strategy as a result of that?
No, not yet. I mean, tomorrow, if it's the same case, then yeah, I'll probably approach it differently in terms of risk again. Probably go more aggressive. Today was more a tester day for me. First of all, I'm still getting used to the exchange, so that's one thing. The other thing is, I wanted to see what everybody else was thinking in terms of risk, and then adjust mine according to theirs. And so that's really what I've been doing.
What's your biggest risk today?
That's a good question. I'm not even sure I remember. Not a lot.
Sounds dangerous.
No, not a lot. I haven't risked a lot.
Wow, so here's a question for you. As the day unfolds, do you plan to take home overnights?
Are you talking about whether I plan to
hold the position into tomorrow?
Probably not, no. It's not really my nature.
So you're going to be flat by the close?
I mean, we'll see what happens, right? But again, like you also mentioned, it's basically lunch hour in America, and so on a Friday, it's just, I'm not sure it's worth it, I'm very careful on a Friday afternoon like this. So.
Right.
Malik, we're seeing you are short in BTC, you entered at 103,000. What's in your opinion the next move? What's the target price?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just a chop fest, right? There's not a lot going on, so it's pretty boring. But yeah, hopefully we go down, right? That's the analogy that I had in mind when I took the short. So
You say it's boring. Maybe on the lower time frame, you can grasp some little gains.
well,
Wouldn't
you know,
that
I'm
be an
trading
option?
a 5-minute time frame. I could go lower, but seconds time frame I don't do. I have done it a little bit, but it's not for me. So I'll stay on the minutes, and yeah, 5-minute works just fine for me. So I'm not going to try and force anything by going lower and lower, right? That's a disaster. It could be a disaster. So
Right. So you're going to stick to that 5-minute time frame.
no, I'm not particular. Like I don't have a. It's not like a rule of mine. It's just where I think it looks the best.
Okay.
You know, So
Okay.
there's no set rule about time frames for me.
Is there a particular pattern you're looking for? Maybe like a classic chart pattern or anything else you want to give us a little insight into?
No, not really. I take advantage of Fibonacci zones,
Oh.
and then I combine that with, I guess you could classify it as a failure break above highs and below lows. And then, you know, I plan on going the opposite way of the majority of people. So if we break, you know, lows, I'm anticipating that to be a fake out, while others are shorting, I'll long it. And
Do
that's
you
what
use
I did
any
here.
indicator to confirm
No.
it's a fake out?
0.
So he's basically going by the price action.
Only price action.
Uh-huh. A man after my own heart.
That's what it is.
Okay. I mean, this guy described my strategy almost to the T there. That's beautiful. I have a tear in my eye. Okay, so, hey, let's not forget about Mauro over here. Just one more question from Mauro.
Okay.
All right, we're not going to forget about you. I want to ask you the same question about overnights. You know, as the leaderboard leader, do you have any, are you open to taking overnights or no?
I'm not decided about because I studied the chart and I have to study so much things to decide this.
Okay.
Probably not, but if I see some of indication that can me bring to leave overnight the position, it's possible that I can use take profit, a stop take profit, okay, stop profit, because I can use a trailing stop if there are trailing stop, I probably will use this. But now I have to decide an exit strategy, different exit strategy.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, Malik just told us that earlier he's just doing what he normally does every day. He's not really making adjustments because he's in this tournament. How about you? Have you made some adjustments because you are competing with other traders here, as opposed to how you normally trade?
Do you mean that if I change my strategy tomorrow?
Well, well, have you adjusted your strategy for this tournament compared to how you trade when no one's watching?
Yes, I adjust the strategy, yes.
Oh, so you made some adjustments. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. That's cool to know.
Okay.
I'm wondering, do you put two types of crypto coins? Are there two crypto coins you won't trade at the same time? So maybe, okay, I'll take BTC, but no way I'm gonna trade Dogecoin at the same moment because they're somehow correlated, or are there pairs you exclude?
I exclude some pairs because I see that for this day, for today, they just have to do euro volatility, okay? It's always a choose using volatility.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, well, thank you, Mauro, for sharing that insight with us.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So, Malik, before we move on to our other segment, again, you had mentioned to us that you are doing what you do every day, pretty much. Now, does that also include? Are you trading the same market that you normally trade, or were you forced to look at other markets because of the tournament?
That's a very good question. So I also trade a lot of things besides crypto, right? I come from stocks and futures. So I definitely don't trade as much crypto as probably some of the other contestants. But no, I would say, I trade a good amount of crypto as well. So yeah, not really. I'm not forcing anything. I'm trading the same pairs that I trade at home. So yeah, I'm sticking to my systems really.
So you mentioned you came from the stock world.
That's right.
So you trade stocks and futures and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Wow.
So it's a bit different, but
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I can appreciate that. Okay, great. Well, thank you again. Thank you for sharing that insight with us.
No problem.
And guys, so look, you guys are our top 2 contenders, and all the pressure is going to rest on your shoulders. And it's going to be between you and Mauro and Malik here, and we may have our winner very soon, because so far we have a little bit of a glimpse here, unless someone else does something crazy and they overtake you guys. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think of the possibility of that?
There's always a possibility, right? Someone just full ports. I can't really stop them, and they're lucky. There's a chance that could happen, right?
So it's only luck.
No, I wouldn't say so, because we're very early into the tournament already. So, but I could imagine that a lot of people, if they're lacking behind tomorrow, then yeah, you'll see a lot of full ports. So there'll be a lot more action tomorrow, I imagine.
Right in the middle of a Saturday. That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you have to switch to the 1 minute chart.
Yeah, maybe I do. We'll see.
Maybe you should do it now.
Wow, very nice, very nice. Wow. Okay, so I think do you guys have any other questions for our traders here?
Guys, just keep it up. Good luck, and go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Keep up the psychological edge.
Excellent, excellent. Wow. So, that was some very nice insight for our viewers at home. We get to basically see the mindset. We get them to hear the explanations behind some of their decisions because, again, these guys have a lot of pressure on them. I can only imagine what it's like sitting behind that computer and then having a guy like me asking him annoying questions while he's waiting for the market to confirm or something like that. That's got to be a little stressful.
Yeah, absolutely. But for them, it's they're the top 2, so they can shine.
I guess they can, right, they can handle the stress, right?
Yeah, right now.
Top 2.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty normal for them also to be in a busy environment. I can imagine if they are daily traders, they do that not only at home, but even when they go shopping or grocery. At least checking their positions. We all did it, or we all do that. So while I'm eating at pizza restaurant, I'm some open position, I just check them every while. So
they even get bored because we are in the sideways action and but then you have to move from lower time frames and take risks to really stand out, right? If everybody is waiting at the same time frame, you won't get the edge.
You can try. The thing is, it's a tough call because the thing is, you may be going into the realm of forcing trades. Like when you're on your 5 minute, if that's your normal time frame where you take action, and you're like, well, I'm going to go to the 1 minute because I need to find trades. You are now in the forcing trade environment where you're asking for trouble, in my opinion. Now here in this case, these guys don't have much of a choice.
Exactly, that's my point.
Right, they're going to have to look for trouble, and hopefully it works out for them. But as they know, those type of outcomes are typically more random. And people at home need to realize that again, you can't make the market do what you want it to do. And when you start looking for things that are outside of your zone of analysis, basically, it can be very problematic, and it can change some of these P&Ls very quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
If they get caught in that, and we're going to find out now. It's just so.
But you have 5 times the candles of someone at. You can also say, okay, there's a lot of more to analyze and to be more dynamic.
Well, yes, sure, because you have more information to deal with.
Exactly,
right?
yeah, and then because you have to decide quickly, there's more chance to make a bad decision as well, and it's like throwing dice.
Right, I was going to say, it goes back to like a coin flip. You could just pull out a coin and flip it.
Yeah, but I would argue that some basic theories you base your whole trading setup on the 5 minutes should also work on the 1 minute.
Theoretically, yes, it should, except that the smaller you go, the more random or the more noise you're going to deal with. So your margin of error is going to be greater on those smaller time frames. Like you're going to be dealing with a lot of noise. So it's very easy to make a lot more mistakes. Although the theory of whatever technique you're using, it should work no matter what time frame you're on. You just have to know how to adjust to that signal to noise ratio. You have to realize you're going to be facing a lot more noise, and you have to account for that. So that's going to be interesting to see if these guys are forced into one of those situations where it's like, all right, I got to try to pull out as much money as I can. I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to bet on you on a 30-second chart and look for whatever setups I can find. Because yes, you'll have a higher frequency of trades, but there's going to be a lot of errors, and we're going to see it. It's going to be reflected in that P&L.
Yeah, that's right. So forcing errors.
Right. So that's a key thing where now, as an experienced trader, they should know this. And again, dealing with this time is a big challenge, and it's good for the people at home to see how to deal with a consolidation like this. Because now you're watching how the top guys do it, and it should really give you a lot of insight into, waiting is a thing. In fact, I should probably walk away from my computer. Like, these guys can't do that, but that would actually be the best course of action, in my opinion. Walk away.
But those guys here need to time the market.
Right.
And
they can't walk away.
They cannot have time in the market because it's scarce here.
Right. So all they can do is sit and wait and basically wait for the market to cooperate with them or not. And at some point, you're just going to get pushed into a corner. And at some point, you're just going to have to act, or just wherever your P&L is at, you just accept it. So it's going to really depend a lot on the personality of each trader and how they're going to go about doing that. Mato over here, I mean, I'm just very impressed with how he uses volatility, and he gauged that right. The other interesting point about him was he adds to the winners, which, we're always thinking maybe like in an all-in, all-out type of mentality. I mean, as a day trader, I usually, when I'm thinking about sizing, I don't have the time to really add to winners. I'm not doing it that aggressively. It's like, for me, typically it's all in, all out, where these guys, you have a winner developing, he capitalizes on it.
Yeah, it's really building a position in a range.
Right, but as it's going his way, because you can also add to a losing trade, which if you're in the right situation, it can work, but man, when that doesn't work, that's when you have serious problems.
Yeah,
trust me, I've tried it. So they call that, there's another name for that. They call it dollar cost averaging, when usually you're going, the market's going against you and you're getting better prices.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if the market keeps going and going and going, you get wiped out.
The dip of the dip of the dippity dip.
Yeah, right.
But actually, there are ways I usually do that to cover the other way. So I do DCA. Maybe if I think that it could go, for example, if I'm long in BTC, but it's going down on the 15 minutes chart, and what I do DCA. But at a certain point, if by any chance it breaks a resistance, for example, I have already another position open the other way, so short.
Oh, so you hedge.
Like hedging. Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting, right? Because you know what, stop loss orders or like the traditional ways of managing risk, right? That's just one way, because there are multiple ways to manage risk. Like you just mentioned, I'm glad you brought that up. You can hedge.
Yeah.
You can buy another coin, another product that's going to be the opposite of what you're doing, and you can protect yourself that way while keeping your position open in the one that's going against you. So it gives you that flexibility. It's just, in the beginning, I remember I tried to experiment with hedging. I found it to be so confusing. When sometimes you get in those situations, like I'm long this, I'm short that, because then when it goes the other way and your original position starts working for you, now you have this hedge which is losing, and you got to get out of the hedge. So essentially, the hedge is really, it's very similar to just closing and opening the position. It's just the hedge gives you the luxury of staying in your losing position while not continuing to lose. You just have to know when to take it off.
Yeah, it's just, in certain way, it's all a matter of, the cost of opening or closing a position, and the fact that if you do hedging, you can maintain your losing position open.
Yeah, exactly.
So instead of realizing that P&L, whether it's profit or loss, you just open another one the other way around, and you keep maintaining that open. You paid already your fees, so you try to do that. It's of course risky, but you can. There are a lot of strategies in order to maintain a lower risk.
Wow, yeah, that's a great point.
You just don't want to realize losses.
Yeah, that would be nice if we could do that, right?
Yeah, that's
Just,
right.
Yeah,
But
not have to realize those losses, and then eventually,
you get a hedge, but it's basically standing at the side of the market. But when the market keeps chopping sideways, it's really hard
Yeah.
to keep being hedged.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why, again, like I always tell people, the best policy is usually to keep it as simple as possible. If you can get into that hedging thing and not be confused by it, great.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you find it confusing, like I always have, it's better to just be flat or not flat. You know what I mean? Flat or you're in a position. It's either one, because a hedge is going to have a similar effect.
But you can also add margin.
Yes,
But
you can control risk with margin.
basically, taking a loan on high leverage and then adding margin if it goes down, and then basically buying it, right? But
Well, what do you mean? Can you explain that?
well, the actual leverage goes down if you add margin, right? So
Right.
if you have a 2x long and add some margin, it will be basically a 1.5x long if you calculate it. You can bring it down to like
Yeah,
1x
down the
long.
math. You say, if you're long and you add margin, your liquidation price drops.
Yeah, but if you add margin, your liquidation price will converge to 0.
Because you're using
And then
basically,
you basically add a 1x.
you're tying, right, you're like a 1-to-1 basically.
Yeah, so if you have a high leverage, you can also add margin to keep
Right, to
being in the
reduce-
trade. Okay, you were wrong, but you don't take the loss.
Right. You could stay in the position longer because, like Alessandro said, your liquidation price.
It's what we have
will
seen with
change.
Malik and Mauro. So they are using all their margin to support the position. That's why the liquidation price was over $120,000.
So it's
Yeah, exactly.
It's right. So it's not. It
So
doesn't-
they are not 50x long, basically. They're like 2x long, maybe.
their positions aren't threatened. essentially.
exactly.
They have a lot.
They
of
won't be
flexibility.
liquidated.
Right. Right. So yeah, that is another nice way to manage risk.
Yeah, sure, but they could also go like 2x long. It would be exactly the same.
Right, right, right. So, but that's a great, because leverage. When it comes to leverage and using margin, that's usually a point of confusion, especially for beginners, because a lot of people don't even consider the leverage or the margin. They just be like, oh, what's this number? And they move their little slider.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I can buy more. And they don't realize what they're actually doing.
Yeah, it's actually a loan.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, great. So next up, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at another news item, and we're going to comment on our next news headline. So let's check that
Oh,
out.
nice. The FCA plans to ban borrowing for crypto investments.
FCA plans to ban borrowing. Interesting. So that's
So
kind
like
of
credit card debt for buying crypto.
I didn't know there were a lot of people borrowing fiat currency in order to buy cryptos. Or maybe they're using their credit cards.
Yeah.
So they're going to probably stop letting the people using credit cards to buy cryptos on the exchanges.
and that sounds sort of like a bearish catalyst to me, right? Less, it takes money away from the markets if
Yeah,
they
but-
can't borrow.
It's also institution versus decentralized world.
I see an opportunity in this bottleneck because here we read the FCA plans, so it might be a rush to bring liquidity to the crypto world before they do that, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, right? Because they're like, oh, before I'm not able to do this anymore. So that can help bolster. That's also a good point. Yeah. So news like this though, it's interesting to see, and it's good to be informed and what's going on in the space. But when it comes to making decisions and taking trades or whatever, I find most of this news to not really be very relevant in the outcome of the markets anyway.
Oh, it
usually.
could be a trigger to really.
I mean, it could be. I mean,
it was already in the charts.
It depends, right? It depends on the news, but certain news carries more weight than other news, right? Like something like that doesn't seem like a heavy weight compared to, like, for example, if if Bitcoin was banned by another country, for example, that would probably be very negative and carry a lot of weight, right? So one important thing about news that I try to really help people out with is don't think how heavy or how relevant the news is. Let the market tell you, because only the market knows.
The market is the only one who is right.
Right. The market's always right. So, people that go in with these opinions, they say, oh, I see this news, oh, and I think it means this, so I'm going to do this. That's the worst thing you can do, because you're just asserting yourself onto the market when really it should be you're the passive follower and you let the market figure it out. If the news is heavy, okay, you don't try to chase that news or act on that news, especially in this day and age when before the thought goes even through your mind to press the button, an algo has taken the position and now is flipping it to you. Like before you even can think, this thing is acted. So that's what you're competing with. That's why it's very important to consider what it is that when you're dealing with news, what it is that you're actually dealing with, and put it like a weight on it. I'm willing to bet all of these traders up here would have the same mindset where news is not going to affect their strategy. Even if it's heavy news, they're just going to see a change on their chart, and they're going to adjust to the chart.
Yeah, I do agree on the strategy, but I think that still certain type of news, especially macro, shall be taken into account in the timing. I'll get you a fun fact. I think a couple of years ago, it was a Friday. I forgot it was a Friday, and FOMC news were going to be out in a few minutes. It was like 2:30 p.m. CET, and I did open a huge trade at the wrong moment. And what happens is that I got liquidated immediately because there was the FOMC giving the news.
Yeah,
it was bad. I was long, and I got liquidated like a huge amount.
It can be very
in
volatile.
seconds.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. By the way, let's see our Italian Luca Boiardi traders open positions. So.
20x leverage.
Yeah, we can see
default for him.
Yeah, he has three open positions so far. So it's Dodge. It's long on Dodge, long on Pepe, and long on XRP. 20x at this moment is losing on 2 out of 3 positions, and is on XRP is actually potentially gaining something. But still the other ones are closed.
And he decided to go all long all day, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. But he tried quite a few pairs, from ADA to Ethereum, even Trump.
Even Trump.
Yeah. I didn't do any loss, I think.
All right, so guys, I mean that's great insight on the open positions. We have a special announcement that I'd like to make here. We have the biggest profit for today, right, so far, which is Maro, with a profit of $4,817.
Wow. Nice.
Bravo.
So the position was in Ethereum, right? He's got the Ethereum perpetual futures contract, and his RP&L is $4,817.02, right? He opened that position at this is what time here? I can't see, 13:57, all right, which is 1:57 p.m. And he closed the position at 14:38. So he was in that position for a little over a half hour, 30 minutes, and he extracted $4,800 on a $50,000 account. What kind of percentage is that, man? That's
like 10%, almost.
Is it 10% in 30 minutes?
Yeah, of the 50,000 initial bags. I would say bellissimo.
Yes, that's a very good word, bellissimo. Wow, very nice, Mauro, very nice. Right, okay, representing the Italians. We're going to have to start calling him the Italian Stallion soon. All right, cool.
Wrap him in some candles.
Yes, the Italian Stallion. Wow, that's great. So yeah, so far he's the guy. I mean, this could be a foreshadowing into the potential take it all, the take home winner of the cup.
But maybe the other traders want to get some more risks now, so they are losing.
The pressure's on.
Win is one money, basically.
Right, because he's going to take their money too. I mean,
because the winner will take the delta.
Yes.
So if there are people losing, people winning, the delta is for the winner. But yeah.
So when you say the delta, that means all the P&Ls of the other traders go to the winner.
Yeah. So if some traders are down like 10K, and he's up 4K, then it's minus 6, right?
Right. Right. So, and look, we have the traders' open positions here. We have Muss Money. Now, how's he doing? Because, he was having a little trouble earlier.
Yeah, so he's bullish. So he has 4 long positions, all of them 10x leverage. Currently, he's trading on Trump, ENA, Pepe, and Jito. And let's see what he's doing. So he is potentially losing in all of those positions. The biggest potential lose is on Pepe.
$2,000.
Yeah.
And his biggest winning position was the Trump position. It looked like his least losing position.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we should have more red colors when.
He's potentially under pressure. You can see he's a little bit under pressure because he's the least in the leaderboard. So he's at the bottom. He got already some huge losses. So he's trying to probably recover somehow and
take more risk for that.
Yeah. He thinks. I think he inverted his strategy because in the previous trades he was going short. Now we're seeing
that's really dangerous, right? To revert your strategy because the point you start doing that, often the trend turns as well.
Right, you're getting caught at the worst price a lot of times. So it's interesting. This was the guy that had the $4,000 unrealized profit earlier. Am I correct?
At the beginning, yeah.
At the beginning, so that money evaporated.
Yeah, and he's also at the bottom of the leaderboard right now.
Wow. So see that's
he's in a tough situation.
Like it doesn't play out now. This is the position you're in. Also, it looked like he was looking for those longs. He was looking for that failed low and that reversal. It looks like the market's not cooperating. So
and he's trying to draw some wedge structure here.
Yeah, that looked like
it looked a bit forced to me.
Yeah, well, he's trying to find something. He's trying to find that. That looked like a
breakout, but the breakout retest didn't work out.
Right. I saw that triangle that he drew on the chart there. On that previous chart, he had that triangle, and I think he was looking for the consolidation breakout, like you said.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the market, when the market doesn't cooperate, there it is, right there. Like he's got that triangle. That looks like a bullish, basically a bullish pennant, where it looks like it's converging, but it looks like it's going lower because he's looking for the.
Yeah, but the trend has reversed. We have lower lows, lower highs.
Well, in that little context, yes. But when you zoom out a bit, it's a tricky thing because you're consolidating. You have the lower lows and lower highs, but only relative to that little structure. If you look back just a little bit, it's a little bit still
high and
bullish.
low.
It's still,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
That's something that you must not lose sight of, because what happens is you start shorting into that bottom because you go, oh, the trend has changed. It hasn't. It's not likely to have changed. It could have. And maybe it breaks and goes further, but that's up to the market to let us know.
I see.
So as a trader, I mean, he has to sit there and decide, okay, if I'm not getting the confirmation, like in a situation, like if I was in that situation and I wasn't getting the confirmation, I mean, my only choice would be step aside, okay, and then wait for the market to give me the confirmation. Going short here would just be, I would see it as an extremely high risk thing to do, because if you get caught in that bottom, he's going to be minus $8,000. Like he's going to be double his loss
right away.
So that's.
We have here Loza Eugene. We can see his trader screen, and
looks like he's now looking at one
on the vertical.
chart.
Yeah, he used VPVR, right? Volume profile.
Yes.
And you can see the spike in volume.
Well, what you see there, I
Blue line, the black line.
What that is showing, right? That volume profile. That's where the most volume has transacted throughout the day. Like that's the time.
Throughout the consolidation phase.
Right. Like
Yeah,
the
so-
price has spent most of its time in that volume bulge.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
can see it broke down.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can break out of that bulge, but that bulge, basically what that shows you is it tells you that price has spent the most time inside of this range, which means there is a lot of what I guess you can refer to as open interest. There are a lot of longs and shorts that are inside, a lot of volume that's long and short, and there's not much volume on the outside of that. So typically, in those situations, especially if you're looking for a day trade, what I'd be looking for is the mean reversion, going back, finding an extreme high or low, and then going back into that midpoint area where price is likely to gravitate toward because of all the volume that's been produced in that area.
Yeah.
It becomes like a magnet.
And it's really nice to also see it on higher time frames because you can really see, okay, if we cross that line, then price will break up to the next resistance level.
Okay, right. So as we're watching Mauro here, guys, what about, so just as a refresher real quick, what are some of the rules for the tournament here that we talked about earlier?
So everyone gets a 50K deposit, needs to place 3 trades an hour. So they're under pressure to really have action. And should have traded 500K in volume over the 2 days to be eligible for the prizes.
Yeah, and they're balancing in USDB, which is an intra-company asset. All their trades are not demo, so they're going to affect the market. They're going to be in the market. And what happens is that we're going to have a winner who will grab all the profits of all the other traders, minus the total amount of USDB that Whitebit gave to the traders. So there is a potential to win up to 5 million USDT, which is a huge prize pool. And
for the main stage traders, right? So we have also squads.
Right. Well, before we get into all that detail, we have a video that's going to explain all this in much greater detail. So people at home, check this out.
The International Crypto Trading Cup is the first event of its kind, a global showdown where top traders compete live for the ultimate crypto title. 8 elite traders face off live on the main stage during an intense 2-day battle. 7 are invited pros, and the last one is the winner of the qualifications. At the same time, solo participants and squad leaders from around the world join the competition online. The event takes 2 days with 12 hours of live trading in total. Trading is done via TradingView on the Whitebit futures market, using 50,000 USDTB with 50 supported pairs and up to 100x leverage. Between event days, no trading or order changes are allowed, though open positions may stay active. All positions close automatically at 9 p.m. on May 10. No bots, no extra tools, no outside help, and no multiple accounts. Each trader competes using one dedicated sub-account with at least 3 trades per hour required. If your balance hits 0, you're out. The last remaining trader continues solo until the timer ends. If overall profit exceeds the total deposit pool, the player with the biggest trading score takes all the remaining deltas up to 5 million USDT. ICDC 2025, the world's first crypto trading championship.
All right, everyone, and we are back to the International Crypto Trading Cup powered by Whitebit. Again, I'm your host, Mark Principato, and I have here with me again
Alessandro Monterosso from Italy.
Kurt van Laken from the Netherlands.
Great. Okay, so guys, hey, I wanted to remind you real quick. We have here a voting system, okay, where users can earn points for simple steps and then use them to vote for their favorite, their favorite, I guess, the groups, right? Because you just mentioned before, we have the squads, and we have all those things. So the viewers at home can actually vote.
Absolutely, yes. There is a 6 6,500 USDT price pool, and there is a way to spend points and to earn points. So the users who register to Whitebit can earn points just by registering, by completing certain actions like performing the KYC, or for example some security actions like enabling the two authenticator factor. And then if they deposit at least 5 USDT, they can get additional points. And then if they do more than 50 USDT of deposit, they can get additional points. And they can spend these points to vote.
For instance, who will win on the main stage?
Exactly.
They can predict.
Yeah, they can predict. So if they target it, for example, you say Mauro Kaimi will win or Malik will win, and they actually win, the prize pool is 1,500 USDT. All the traders or the users of Whitebit who will actually identify the right bet, they're going to get the prize pool. And there is up to 6,500 USDT.
So where can they vote? Where can they place these votes?
Yeah, on the website of the ICTC.
Oh.
They can find it on Whitebit,
page,
but they need to be registered to Whitebit.
They have to, oh, I see. So
Yeah,
they go to that main page there, and then they can. Yeah, that's a cool thing. So basically, it's like almost like event trading, right? Where you're voting, you're voting a certain outcome. You're voting on a certain outcome,
Exactly.
and you can win a prize for that.
Yeah,
How
it's like
cool is
betting
that?
on some outcome for the ICTC.
How cool is that? All right, cool. So viewers at home, don't forget, take advantage of that, because again, it's more money that you can win.
They also can still compete as solo trader.
Oh, they can still do that too. Wow, that's very cool, very cool. So we should see more of that as well. We're probably going to see some leaderboards in that area soon too. So who do we have here? Well, there's Luca. There's one of the Italians there with his nice jacket. And how's he doing otherwise here? Like he was having a little trouble earlier too. And what can we see? It looks like he's watching that low area, and I suspect he's looking for a long. I would hope he's looking
definitely.
for a long.
Oh no,
But
no, he's not.
he's just looking around, and
He wants the price to drop into the red zone and then enter a long trade with the stop loss at the bottom of the red zone. And take profit at the upper part of the range.
that looks like the right idea, as long as that range doesn't break on him.
Yeah, that's why he has the stop loss in play.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't see whether he opened it right here already. But
Now, if you notice, like that area he's got highlighted, it looks like he's highlighting a common bottom. You see the double bottom? He's got the square on that right there, but if you look to the left a bit, you see another bottom. You see
yeah,
that?
it's like a range. Yeah.
That's a typical like double bottom type of setup, and that can be meaningful in these type of situations. So, I mean, I would be looking for the long too. Now we're back to Merlin over here, and how's Merlin been coming along? I mean, that looks like his illustration that he showed us right at the beginning of this stream.
That's a nice cup and handle.
Looks like it played out, right? Oh, look at that. He's got that. He's drawing the resistance there. You have that breakout, right? Broke that resistance. I mean, that's strong, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
the cup and handle has broken out, and now he's waiting for the retest to enter long.
Yeah, what pair is it? I cannot see.
Yeah, I can't see what.
I can't see it either.
You can't see the pair? Okay. Yeah, that would be nice to see. But it probably hasn't changed much. We could probably walk up there.
It's Link.
I see.
Oh,
Chainlink.
Chainlink.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite a breakout. I'm suspecting that larger time frame, that must be the daily time frame.
But Chainlink is a really interesting one as well.
Yeah, what makes it interesting?
Well, it hits a lot of narrative boxes. So if you're from a different point of view investing into crypto, well, Link hits from different perspectives the boxes.
Like what? So give us a box.
Like for instance, DeFi or USA-based currencies, or yeah, a few of those things. If you have like a bubble chart of all those things, you have a lot of overlap for Link.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah,
So it makes
it interesting.
A popular coin.
Yeah.
Especially for, because that's one coin, like I said, I'm more of like, if I'm doing this, I'm looking at Bitcoin or Ethereum, and these altcoins like Link and all these other ones, it's like, if Bitcoin isn't moving, man, probably the whole world isn't moving. That's not exactly right, but That's the way I like to think of it, you know, because I like to just keep it simple. So I love seeing these guys working on these altcoins because it just shows how much opportunity there is no matter where you look. You can find something somewhere if you know what opportunity looks like.
Yeah, it's like starting a business in the crypto landscape and combining different types of techniques.
Right.
Also, the decentralized part, I think we shouldn't underestimate. I think in 100 years, the DeFi will be leading over CeFi.
100 years, that's a good time frame. Yeah. Well, no, it's good to keep an open mind. Absolutely keep an open mind. Let's check out our nominations we got here.
We have individual nominations. So by trading score, by highest ratio of winning trades, by highest individual trading volume.
So these are solo traders, right?
Yes. So we have Junior Zcash as the highest trading score so far. Congratulations.
Would be second
Junior.
here or third maybe on the main stage, right? With this P&L.
Yeah, potentially yes. No, but I think it's a trading score. This is trading score.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then we have the ratio of trading wins. So he actually did 100% of the trades are won. So bravo. And then we have the highest profit. On the highest profit, we have Yellow Polygon, $47 so far. And instead of the by trading volume, we have over $500,000 done by second Shiba Inu. Congratulations, guys. We've seen good numbers so far, sis, especially on the volumes. $500,000 by Shiba Inu. Material Litecoin is $200,000, and KG Algorand is around $100,000. So they are actually trading quite a lot.
Yeah, but I don't see them pop up in the other ratios. So that I think something went wrong as well.
Yeah.
I think. If you have a high trading volume and you're not popping up like it's like 5x the first one and the third one.
Yeah, let's see the squad nominations. So we have the best ROI, but the pole position is led by Koala with 302 of ROI. Crypto Geed is second, and then M22. And look at what's the difference in between the first and the second place.
Wow.
Yeah. Then best winning ratio, we have 0.66 of winner's money. And then Crypto Geed is 0.61.
0.61, yeah. Wow. Very cool. Congratulations. I mean, doing a nice job there as well. So now, moving along, guys, we have the next thing that we're going to show our viewers at home is we have a video about trader psychology.
Nice.
This is something you definitely don't want to miss because this is the key to the whole game here.
It's the market, right?
Yes, that's it. It's your psychology against the psychology of the market. So let's check that out.
Today, we are venturing beyond the charts, the indicators, and the breaking news. We are diving into the most unpredictable, powerful, and often overlooked force in any market, the human mind. Trading in any form is intense. It's a relentless arena where fortunes can seemingly be made or lost in the blink of an eye. It demands focus, analysis, and quick decisions under pressure. It's not just about calculating risk. It's a visceral, emotional roller coaster that can leave even seasoned traders feeling mentally taxed, exhausted, and questioning their own judgment. Why? Because understanding the psychology of crypto trading isn't just helpful, it's fundamental to your survival, let alone success.
The biggest challenge was, facing the loss of money, because at the very beginning, I started during a strong bull market and I felt like a genius, you know, everything was going up, every trade was in profit, and I was like, oh my God, I'm a genius. And then the market crashed and I discovered that I'm not a genius, I was just, on the right place at the right time. And when the market turned, I just lost everything, and that's what was one of the biggest challenges. Understanding that you're not a genius, that you have to learn better and become a better trader at the end of the day. And that's what motivated me to become one as well.
Wait till I will receive a lot of money to cover all my bills, because it spent, I guess, almost 3 years to become profitable enough to start a better life than I used it before when I was a student.
Adding fuel to this fire is the 24/7, always-on nature of the market. Unlike traditional markets with opening and closing bells that provide natural pauses and time for reflection, crypto never sleeps. This relentless cycle creates a pressure to be constantly vigilant. Did you miss a crucial pump overnight? Is the market crashing while you are asleep? This lack of downtime can lead to burnout, fatigue, and impulsive decisions made in suboptimal states of mind.
I'm always got needs to check market, news and so on. It's part of my daily routine. And if I miss it for some kind of reason, if I'm in road or something in other place trading, it's fine. Other opportunities will be next time, so I'm not worried about that.
This unique high-pressure environment creates fertile ground for two powerful emotional forces that constantly stalk crypto traders. FOMO, which is fear of missing out, and FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They are the twin demons whispering in your ear, urging impulsive action. Imagine scrolling through Twitter and seeing posts about a relatively unknown coin suddenly skyrocketing. Screenshots of massive gains flood your feed. Friends in a chat group are buzzing about it. Nagging voice insists everyone else is getting rich. You are missing the boat. Get in now before it's too late. That's FOMO. It's a powerful siren call driven by greed and social comparison. It compels traders to abandon their strategies, chase pumps, buy assets at dangerously inflated prices, and take on excessive risk without proper research, simply because they cannot bear the thought of missing out on potential gains.
4 months ago, when Trump make these political movements with another countries, I lost 100,000 USDT. It was a biggest stop loss in my life. This situation a little bit disappointed me, but then I start again, and right now I am in a zero. It's not profit and it's not loss.
So how do you build defenses against these pervasive emotional tides? It's not about eliminating fear or greed entirely. They are human emotions. It's about recognizing them and preventing them from dictating your actions. The strongest armor is a well-defined trading plan, crafted during moments of calm rationality. This plan should clearly outline your entry criteria, profit targets, and crucially your exit strategy, including stop losses, before you even enter a trade. Sticking to your plan becomes your shield.
You know, the funny part about the whole mental space of trading, every single trading error that somebody encounters, I'm talking about overtrading, over-risking, all these different things, it's all tied back to the same root issue, which is wanting to make money. So what I always tell people is that if you can rewire, that's what trading is, rewiring the human brain, because naturally that's not how we're supposed to feel and think, right? But you have to rewire your brain from the aspect of wanting to make money and into the aspect of wanting to build good habits and follow rules. And so you have to rewire your brain to do that. And once you are able to do that, everything becomes easy, because every single problem ties back to the same issue, which is wanting to make money. And that was my biggest issue when I first started as well. And if people who say they didn't get into crypto or trading to make money are just liars, essentially, right? Of course they did, I did as well. But that's really what's going to end up biting you. You have to learn how to rewire your brain. And of course that took many years, but now we're here and I feel like I've done a decent job.
So recognizing the unique pressures of crypto, the pitfalls of FOMO and FUD, and the subtle sabotage of cognitive biases is crucial knowledge. But knowledge alone isn't enough. The real challenge and the key to longevity in trading lies in actively cultivating emotional control. How do we move from knowing to doing? The cornerstone, once again, is the trading plan. It cannot be overstated. This document, created with a cool head, is your objective guide when emotions run hot. It must detail your strategy, what conditions trigger an entry, where you will take profits, and critically, where you will cut losses. It should also define your risk management rules, like the maximum percentage of your capital you will risk on any single trade.
So I'm very specific and picky with where I trade and when I trade. For example, I don't trade Mondays, I don't trade Wednesdays, I never trade the weekends, so my only trade days are Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's the only times I trade. I like trading volatility, and that's when the most volatility is. Second of all, if I have not opened my computer and done pre-market analysis 30 minutes prior to market open, which is New York session for me, right, 9:30 EST. If I'm not at my computer at 9 EST analyzing, I don't trade, right? And on top of that, I only trade from 9:30 EST to 11:30 EST. It's about 2 hours a day. Also, my analysis pre-market includes a whole plan of potential zones that I'm looking to buy from, sell from, reversal zones, all these different things. And if I haven't written out my pre-market game plan, I can't trade. It's a rule of mine, right? Also, I never trade outside of my office. Very rarely do I trade outside of my office, never on my phone or any nonsense like that. So yeah, I'm very picky. Same as if I had a bad night's sleep, I don't trade. If I had an argument, I don't trade. If I don't feel well, I don't trade. All these different things I don't do because I understand the human mind and how it affects it.
Embrace continuous learning, not just about market analysis, but also about psychology. Read books, follow thoughtful traders, not just hype merchants, and constantly seek to understand both the market's movements and your own reactions to them. The market evolves, and so should your understanding and strategies.
To understand myself, personally, to improve my mindset, I have to spend such 5 years. It's not simple, but every day I improve something about myself and about my mindset. So it's not a locked time, okay? It's a street, is a way that you do every day. To do something every day that can improve your mindset. I think that, however, is at least 3 years, 3-5 years is really important for improve your mental skills and your mindset.
The psychological currents of crypto trading is arguably as challenging, if not more so, than mastering technical analysis or understanding blockchain fundamentals. The extreme volatility, the constant market cycle, the pervasive influence of social media, and the speculative nature of many assets create a perfect storm for emotional decision-making. But the key takeaway is this: while you cannot control the market, you can learn to control your reactions to it. Success in crypto trading isn't just about finding the right coin. It's about mastering your inner game. It requires rigorous self-awareness, unwavering discipline to stick to a well-defined plan, robust risk management, and a commitment to continuous learning and emotional regulation. It's a demanding journey requiring patience and resilience, but by understanding the psychological landscape and actively implementing strategies to manage your emotions, you dramatically increase your chances of not just surviving, but potentially thriving in this exhilarating and challenging world of trading. Money. It's a concept so deeply ingrained in our lives that we rarely pause to consider its strange and evolving nature. It's the invisible hand guiding trade, the yardstick measuring value, the lubricant greasing the wheels of society. But it wasn't always crisp banknotes or blinking numbers on a screen. Our journey with value exchange began far more tangibly. In the rustle of grain, the glint of a seashell, the heft of a well-crafted tool. Welcome to the story of money, a tale that inevitably leads us to the most famous and perhaps infamous digital currency of our time, the Bitcoin. For centuries, the value of money was tied to metal it contained or represented. Even when paper money emerged in China around the 7th century, later adopted in Europe, it was typically a promissory note, a claim check redeemable for a specific amount of gold or silver held in reserve. This was the era of gold standard.
I think that one of the most important, because it made people see what money really is when they abandoned the gold standard. Because money became more and more worthless, and inflation was ramping up, and we basically learned to see what money is. It's just a piece of paper with someone that's saying it's worth like that. But can we trust that person? That's the question, and I don't think so. So that's why Bitcoin exists.
I'm not a big fan of paper money because every year the inflation is cutting them, so I can't find in the history where is the exact moment which was the most important for them.
Long before Bitcoin ignited the public imagination, a movement known as cypherpunks was exploring the intersection of cryptography, privacy, and digital freedom. In the late 1980s and 90s, figures like David Chaum were already pioneering concept of anonymous digital cash systems, like DigiCash. They foresaw the potential for digital surveillance and control inherent in purely electronic, centralized money. Their goal was to create electronic payment systems that mimicked the privacy and peer-to-peer nature of physical cash, using cryptography to secure transactions and protect our identities. In October 2008, amidst the turmoil of a global financial crisis that shook faith in traditional banking systems, a paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, was posted to a cryptography mailing list. Its author, using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, proposed a novel solution to the double spending problem without needing a trusted third party. Nakamoto's genius lay in combining several existing cryptographic concepts in a unique way. The core innovation was the blockchain, a public, distributed ledger containing a record of all Bitcoin transactions. Transactions were bundled into blocks, cryptographically linked together in a chronological chain. This chain is maintained and validated not by a single entity, but by a network of participants, or so-called miners, who dedicate computing power to solve complex mathematical problems. Successfully solving a problem allows a miner to add the next block to the chain and, as a reward, receive newly created bitcoins and transaction fees. This process, known as mining, serves two crucial functions. It validates transactions and introduces new bitcoins into circulation in a controlled, predictable manner.
I don't buy Bitcoin, okay? I don't buy Bitcoin because I mine Bitcoin, so it's so funny, but it's in this way. I mine Bitcoin in 2015, and from 2015 I'm an holder of Bitcoin.
I think I just heard it from people and the internet, maybe in 2016, 2017-ish is when I first started hearing about it. I was not smart enough, unfortunately, to buy it then. So yeah, I think I bought Bitcoin was not actually the first asset I bought. I bought Ethereum before I bought Bitcoin, which is a big mistake because Ethereum is more like a stable coin now. Yeah, I bought it because everyone else was buying it, and yeah, it was just cool to hold a little bit of Bitcoin, you know.
The identity of Bitcoin's creator remains one of the most compelling mysteries in modern technology. Satoshi Nakamoto communicated via emails and forum posts during Bitcoin's early development, collaborating with other programmers but meticulously guarded their real-world identity. In April of 2011, Nakamoto sent a final email stating they had, quote-unquote, moved on to other things, handing over the reins to key developers like Gavin Andresen. Then, they vanished. Speculation has been rampant ever since. Is Satoshi a single person or a group?
Actually, I think that's a collective of people. I don't think it's just one person, and I think that Hal Finney could be one of them because it's really very close to Satoshi Nakamoto. He was one of the first people running Bitcoin, as he said. It was really a pioneer, so if I had to guess, I would guess it's him, or at least he's involved.
It would baffle me if it was a single person, but then again, nobody knows who it is, and so if there was a whole team behind it, I find it very hard to believe that they would be able to hide it for that long. So if I had to get, I would say one person, and then you have Satoshi, who everyone thinks is who made Bitcoin, right? But again, whom I don't know. One person I think, and Satoshi is who I think it is. Yeah.
100% not Satoshi Nakamoto. Real lead should be more close to the United States. This is all I can tell today, but I know much more about this situation.
From its obscure beginnings on cryptography forums, Bitcoin embarked on a wild journey. Initially, it had virtually no monetary value. The first known real-world purchase occurred in May 2010 when programmer Laszlo Hanyecz famously paid 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. A transaction worth millions at later prices, now celebrated annually as Bitcoin Pizza Day. The following years saw gradual growth in awareness, punctuated by periods of intense volatility and media attention. Then Bitcoin gained notoriety through its use on dark web markets like Silk Road, raising regulatory concerns. Simultaneously, it began attracting venture capital and serious developer interest. Bitcoin experienced major price bubbles and subsequent corrections, notably in 2013 and the massive bull run of late 2017, which pushes it firmly into the mainstream consciousness. Each cycle brought new waves of users and investors, but also sharp downturns that tested believers' resolve. The ecosystem matured with better wallets, more regulated exchanges, and derivative products. Crucially, institutional investors, like hedge funds, corporations, or asset managers, began to take notice, viewing Bitcoin as a potential portfolio diversifier or inflation hedge. The approval of Bitcoin ETFs, which stands for Exchange Traded Funds, in major markets like the US, marked a significant milestone in its integration into traditional finance. Throughout this decade-plus journey, Bitcoin has proven resilient, surviving technical challenges, regulatory crackdowns, market crashes, and internal debates, like those leading to forks like Bitcoin Cash. Its core network has continued to operate reliably, processing transactions across borders without intermediaries.
I 100% think so. I mean, it's not been around for that long. It is already, I think we just moved up to the 6th largest asset in the world. So 100%, I do think it can outweigh gold by a mile. It's also a way better hedge against inflation. And all these things, it's just a very good asset overall, and it's digital gold essentially.
From the simple act of barter to the complexities of global finance and the digital frontier, the story of money is one of constant evolution. Bitcoin stands as a landmark chapter in this narrative, a bold experiment born from cypherpunk ideas, cryptographic ingenuity, and the moment of financial disillusionment. Revolutionizes global payments or finds a different niche entirely, Bitcoin has already profoundly impacted our understanding of money, trust, and value in the 21st century. It remains a ghost in the financial machine, a decentralized force whose ultimate destiny is still being written, one block at a time.
I am Mauro Caimi, and I'm a trader, a quantitative and cyclical trader, and my story is started in 2001 because I'm an old trader, so I start to trade futures and commodities and stocks. And after 10 years of experience in trading, I know Bitcoin and the crypto market because I was a miner with my friends that study science, PC science. We start to create a mining farm for Bitcoin. And so I was amazing about this discovery of Bitcoin, and so it's a lot for me, and I changed to trade my trading to from future and commodities to Bitcoin and crypto. And now I'm an Italian influencer with my YouTube channel. I started to create YouTube in 2018, yes, 2018, and to teach trading strategy because in Italy some crypto trading are not professional trader, and so it's my mission is to teach professional trading and technical analysis for my follower, and also cyclical analysis. And so that's it. It was a great experience for me. I improved some skill studying trading and also for myself, because trading is really important for yourself and your mindset. So studying trading and do this for a really long time. I improve my skills about my psychology and my mindset, such as behavior control, or to control my bias, natural bias, like financial bias. Okay, so it's really important to do a guest with you because studying and trading is really difficult for people that is not passionate or is not focused in this type of professions, and so it's really difficult, but it's really the best thing that I can do for myself, because it's important to create a perfect good version of myself. Risk is a really important thing in trading because it can explain if you are a gambler or if you are a professional trader. Control the risk is the most important thing because in trading the strategy is to have the fish, okay, the possibility to trade again. So if you go to all-in on the market, is not a good idea, because you are not a professional trader. In this case, you are a gambler. So it's also possible that you win something, but it's not possible to win everything and for a long period. So if you want to stay here for a long term, you have to control your risk. So I think that is the same in my life. I not prefer really a great risk in my life, but it's different because trading is a professional. So for profession, I have to control, but for my life is not the same, no? So for my personal life, I think it's a good thing to have some risk. So it's not a bad idea, okay? When I'm not on the market, I prefer to play some instrument and singing, because I'm a musician. So this is a most important hobby for me, because in this way I can balance myself, my creativity, and also my social skills. So musician give me the possibility to do something that is really different from my work. So I can create a break, okay, from the natural daily routine. And in the second part of my day, I become a musician. So it's really wonderful for me, because I have the contact with the crowd, with the people. I can sing and I can play some instrument like saxophone, because I play the sax. So it's really a good thing. So music for me is really best in my life. after trading. Not simple to describe success in trading and in professional things, because it's really subjective things. For me, success in trading is to create a strategy and plan that I can use also for a long period. Is not to do the one single trade for my life. Okay, it's not to create so much profit only with one trade. For me, success is to understand the markets. Understand the markets, it means also understand the people, because markets are a social place. It's not only analytical or statistical place, it's a social place. So understand the market is really important, because gives you the possibility to create a long period work and a trade that you can do for really much times. So success is this for me. Okay, is understand and have the comprehension of the change in the market, of the changes in the market, the increase of the market and the behavior, different type of philosophical thought in the market. Okay, because market is also developing their self and produce some different things. No, okay, this actual market is real different from 10 years ago market. Okay, so this is success for me. This is a really interesting competition, and I think that it's really important for trader to meet other trader and to participate to this competition, because you go up with your skills. I'm here for improve the skill for myself, okay, because participate to this competition can be the possibility to study some things, to learn about the difficult to trade only for a little time, or for 1 day or 2 days, and compete with the other trader is really important to give you the possibility to have some things that give you the fire, okay, the sprint, the final sprint, to understand, to learn, to study some things. So it's a really good competition, and it's really important for everything I know, because if you are a trader, if you want to become a trader, you have to do this type of experience.
My name is Eugen Loza. I'm CEO of Excavo. I'm a professional trader. I start at 2013. I'm coming to one conference, and one guy, his name Bill Hubbard, he's since experienced like 40 years in Wall Street, and he talked about the market, about the gold, and it's very interesting for me. After this conference, I start to educate, learn how to trade, what is it, financial market. That's how I start. My trading experience, it's 11 years, and I have a lot of challenges in my career. So I understand who I am, what my good like skills, where is my problem. I just discover myself. In every trade I have a like fixed stop loss. It's like 1-2% for my deposit. So this is my strategy. This is how I trade. Every trade 1-2%. I don't like to hold like biggest minus, because you know my win rate it's not too big, but I focus at big risk reward. My trading routine, it's like I do sport every day meditation, and I have a big community and I publish and research market. This is my routine. I'm not focused at education or mentoring. I'm just publish my idea for public. It's for free. It's in TradingView I publish every day, every week my ideas, my view on the market, on crypto, on Forex, in any financial instruments. So I just discover the market, what is success for trader. Before I want to like fix in this area. I want to stay in this area, and after I focus at the money, I want to make big money. So now I'm just enjoying the market, and that's why I participate in this tournament. I like to work in this area, in financial market area. I'm not expect about other traders, about other trader, because I don't know their trading style, their performance. So I'm just focused at myself. I want to achieve victory in everything what I do.
Web 3.0. Is it just hype, a tech buzzword, or is it genuinely the next evolution of the internet, set to change how we live, work, and interact online? To really get Web 3.0, we need a quick trip down memory lane. Remember the internet of the 90s? That was Web 1.0. Think static websites like digital brochures or encyclopedias. You could read information, but you couldn't really interact much. It was the read-only web. Think GeoCity pages, maybe Netscape Navigator if you were there. It was revolutionary for its time, giving us access to information like never before, but it was largely a one-way street. Then came the mid-2000s, and the internet exploded with interactivity. This is Web 2.0, the internet most of us know today, the read-write web. Suddenly, we became the creator. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, they allow us to connect, share content, build communities, and shop online seamlessly. User-generated content became king. But Web 2.0 has a catch. While we create the content, large corporations own the platforms. They control the data, the algorithms, and the rules. Our digital lives are largely hosted in centralized silos owned by a handful of tech giants. Think about it. Your photos, your posts, your connections, your whole online identity, they all exist on servers owned by someone else. You have access, but you don't truly own it. This centralization brought convenience, but also concerns about data privacy, censorship, and single points of failure.
I'm waiting for a Web3 internet, and I'm a big fan of all guys who is creating Web3 platforms and blockchain, and they probably will change our world in the next 5-10 years. If I'm trading in DEX market, there are a whole industry of decentralized platforms where you can trade easily any pairs in many DEX exchange, or you can easily create meme coin in one moment, or you can hold your money or NFT in special wallet and receive incomes, or you can even build a business in Web3 application, receive crypto, and no one will suspend you in this world.
And that brings us to the doorstep of Web 3.0, often called the read, write, own web. So what is Web 3.0 fundamentally? At its heart, Web 3.0 is about shifting the power back to the users. It's an idea, a movement, and a collection of technologies aiming to create a more decentralized, transparent, and user-controlled internet. Instead of data being stored on servers owned by single companies, Web 3.0 leverages technologies like blockchain, the same tech behind cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Imagine data distributed across thousands of computers worldwide. No single entity controls it all.
I don't think that can apply to trading, can apply in the real economy, because with the tokenization of the asset, we can liquidate some asset, okay, that is not so simple to create a liquidity. The tokenization can push this sector. And is also important because the cost of tokenization is so down instead of the other asset, okay? So it's simple to tokenize some asset, and it's simple to liquidate some assets in this way. So I think it's a really best creation of efficiency in the market.
And while transparency is key for transactions, Web 3.0 aims to give users more control over who sees their personal data and how it is used. Instead of handing over data wholesale to platforms, you might grant specific, revocable permissions for certain applications to access only the data they need, often managed through your crypto wallet, acting as a digital identity hub. The goal is to move away from the data as the product model of Web 2.0.
AI, especially AI agents, will be a great, huge role in the next few years. Even now, there are some solutions where AI agents can trade on your exchange without you. And all markets today are definitely is building with AI. Who is building them in real time. This is 100%.
I think that AI is very useful to analyze data. I use it I just give the AI a lot of data, and I look for trends, I look for maybe statistics, and it helps me a lot improving my strategies as well, because it can take a lot of raw data and generate results from them, some insights from them. And so it's really, really important to implement it in your strategies, backtesting, analysis, and so on.
Well, we are still in the early innings, like the dial-up era of Web 1.0, but the ripples are already spreading. Decentralized finance aims to rebuild traditional financial services on the blockchain, removing intermediaries like banks. It offers potential for greater access and transparency, but also comes with risks and regulatory hurdles.
You can't do any manipulation when you don't have supplies or a lot of money for pumping. If you are doing pumping, other guys will kill you because they got supply. Supply is the main point in this for doing any manipulations. I'm really fine for AI trading, especially when you can train in your own neural network for trading, and I definitely will use AI agents in the next few years. Especially, actually, I'm building one AI agent right now.
So there you have it. Web 3.0 isn't just a technical upgrade. It's a philosophical shift towards a more open, fair, and user-centric internet. We've journeyed from the static pages of Web 1.0 through the interactive but centralized platforms of Web 2.0 to the emerging read, write, own era of Web 3.0 built on blockchain, decentralization, and user ownership. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. There are hurdles to overcome: user-friendliness, scalability, regulations, and weeding out the bad actors. But the potential to reshape finance, creativity, gaming, community building, and our fundamental relationship with the internet is immense. We are witnessing the foundations being laid for the next chapter of the digital world. It might take time, It will definitely evolve, but understanding Web 3.0 today is key to navigating the Internet of tomorrow. The International Crypto Trading Cup is the first ever global showdown for the ultimate crypto title. 2 days of trading, 8 elite contenders, the winner takes all the profits. ICTC 2025, the world's first crypto trading championship.
All right, and welcome back. For those of you that are just joining us, my name is Mark Principato, and we have my co-host here.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Nick from Italy, and I'm here with Gert.
Yes, Gert van Laken from the Netherlands.
Right.
Welcome back.
And you're joining us for the International Crypto Trading Cup, powered by Whitebit. And we hope you're enjoying the show so far. We've had a lot of interesting things to learn about and to learn about how these traders have been adapting to this tough situation that they've been facing. I mean, have you seen, we had a chance to talk to Mauro behind the scenes, and he was feeling good.
Oh yeah, he must be feeling good with that P&L realized, man.
Our leader here, and I mean, we asked him, are you worried about the other guys overtaking you? He was like, whatever. Like he was very calm about
Very
that.
relaxed, professional.
Like professionally.
A sign of a professional trader. Absolutely.
Yes.
And we had a chance to talk to some of the other guys, and they said, hey, they're starting to feel some of the pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's nice.
I can imagine it.
And
I can imagine.
That's the whole point, really.
Pressure is where we get cooked.
Yeah.
You put the pressure on them, and then we're gonna see some P&L drama soon.
Yeah, you don't want to get emotional on these things, you know.
I mean, have you seen like where Bitcoin is at right now?
Ooh, it just did a wild move as far as I know, right, Gert?
Yeah, it bounced from the bottom of the range we're in. So there should be a little shake in the P&Ls, but it hasn't broken out yet, as I checked a few minutes back. So
remember, so it was
potentially breakout soon.
It turned out.
Right, so out of the range.
No, not out of the range, potential. So it's
potential.
It's really moving fast to the other side of the range.
Okay.
So it could break out up or
that's starting to become more interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Faster move, faster liquidations.
Yeah, because they traded a consolidation the whole day, basically, right?
It was a tough short.
Yeah.
Tough for the shorts, man, because and that's, remember we were talking about that earlier when we saw that failed low area on that consolidation. We said tough place to be short. And you don't want to reverse your psychology now and be like, oh, it's at the bottom, I'm going to short it, because this is what happens. You get caught in something that's actually strong, and then you get squeezed. That's why, really, I know it's cliche, but the trend really is your friend. You just have to know how to, go along with that flow and not get confused by what the market may be throwing you at the moment. You still have to look out and look at that bigger picture. Right?
Exactly. There will always be trend breaks on lower time frames, but if the higher time frame has a clear trend, it's always better to keep it as a friend as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So, guys, we have this second activity coming up here. Have you heard?
Oh, yeah. What is it about?
Well, remember we had that first activity.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Where it was where we had our people from home watching, right? And then what happened? The QR code popped up.
Okay.
And then they had to give us an emoji. Remember that?
Oh, it's coming back.
Well, yes, it's coming back. But the thing is, it's not going to be an emoji this time. Okay, it's going to be, we have another question to ask. So we can talk about that. That's the Ask It, and hold on, the actual name of the thing is Quiz It to Win It.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So,
the one from X Traveler, right?
Yes.
Where players can win X Prime memberships.
Yes.
The last ones. The last
13 ones.
Yes, exactly.
One more than the previous time.
The missing one from today. Yeah, okay.
We're going to give away some more of those memberships.
Oh, that's nice.
And you have to be able to get that QR code, and you're going to have to be able to jump on that quickly.
Yeah, you better stick on that screen to not lose it, right?
So right. So that's where we're at. Now we're going to have a second question here, and there's the QR code right now. So you have a minute to scan that code, and let me give you the question, because this is the question that you have to answer. What would you describe this tournament to a friend who knows nothing about trading? So again, I'm going to repeat that. How would you describe this tournament to a friend who knows nothing about trading? You have less than a minute to answer that question right now in the Telegram community, and then a moderator is going to pick the winners, and then we're going to announce them here shortly. So there's our QR code here. Let me see if I can point to it again. Here's the QR code. No, there it is, right there. Here's the QR code. I got to point to Nick. There's the QR code right there. Click on that thing right now, and you're running out of time. You have about 30 seconds. Get on this thing now. Go to the Telegram and answer that question. And this, again, this is brought to you by Xtraveler.
Xtravel.io, yeah.
Xtraveler.io. And they're going to give you a voucher for a membership to their Xtraveler, what is it called? The
X Prime membership.
X Prime membership.
Yes. There will be 13 winners this time, so that's really nice.
Yes. So jump on that. It's a nice opportunity, okay, to get like a nice little prize there. So we're waiting here as the questions come in, and we're going to have an answer from our moderator soon who the winners are. They're going to show us right here on the screen, and we're going to read the answers and congratulate our winners. Now, how cool is that?
Oh, that's very nice. They can know instantly if they won or not. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to find out. And now, you know what? The activity is now closed. So you can no longer, you missed it. It was the QR code is now gone. And your next opportunity to do this will be tomorrow when we stream on our second day. We will have some more activities where you can scan the QR code and participate to win prizes as well. So do not fear if you missed it. You know, I know, yes, there's a fear of missing out, but you still have another day. Yeah. Just be more on top of it tomorrow. That's all I can tell you. Okay?
Yeah, don't let the FOMO grab you. Yeah, for sure.
Right. So in a few moments here, we're going to have our winners. They're going to bring them up on the screen, and we're going to read the questions or the answers.
The best answers will be displayed. So, well, maybe the moderators are scanning for good answers, obviously.
Okay,
yeah,
so
the most creative ones, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be coming shortly.
It's not a smiley anymore. It's getting harder.
Right. This is certainly going to require a lot more skill.
Yeah, this is a bit longer answer this time, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not just an emoji.
No rockets involved. Yeah.
Right. We're going to have to read. They're probably going to send us some paragraphs, and we're going to see the nice answers that they put together for us at home. So those of you that are in it, great. So while we're waiting, we have a nice chart over here. We're back to Yevgen, and his charts haven't really changed much, have they? Let's see. I still see that market profile.
It's still stick to the same assets from before, yeah. Bitcoin mainly, Bitcoin, Ethereum.
5 minutes chart.
Yeah, monitoring Ethereum Bitcoin pair, like to see, maybe to check if Ethereum is rolling harder than Bitcoin. And then we have Solana. Solana, which maintains its price over $170. A big leg up that it did just yesterday. So...
keep going.
Okay. It will be very interesting to see which kind of... you know, I've been away for kind of while, so I want to see how the things unfolded. You know, like how his lows are going and how the other players are going.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm looking at that bottom chart, the bottom right-hand corner there, and it looks like he's drawn in a support level right at like that bottom. You see that key low?
Yeah.
And that's the failed low that we were talking about before, right? Because the market since then, I mean, look, the market has bounced off of that. And, I mean, he's got some stuff drawn there, so clearly that's got his attention. Now, I'm just looking at so that's the Bitcoin chart right there.
It is.
And that looks to me like a small time frame, but it's hard to see the details there. And he's still got that clean chart in the middle, you know, so it looks like when you look at that profile, you can see, again, the bulge on those charts. You can see that's where all the volume has pretty much transacted. And as the market gets away from that, you're taking more and more risk if you start buying. Like that's the tricky part with a breakout. You know, as it goes further and further away from that consolidation area, there are greater chances that it's going to pull back into there. So it's a tricky game to play. Like, that's where it's either you're going to do the mean reversion and you're going to try to sell the fake out, or you're better off waiting for the retrace into the consolidation and then look for a long there. I mean,
Right.
so now what do we have here? We have Kostya.
We
We're
have
back with Kostya.
Yeah.
And what chart does he have up on?
Oh, that's Avalanche.
Oh, wow.
Avalanche on the, looks like the 4 hours. Yeah.
And he's drawing a line there. So first of all, he has a candle that looks like a pin bar. The current candle, which is not closed yet, that looks like a pin bar. Typically, that type of candle is a reversal candle. Now he just switched over. Notice the support and resistance lines that he has.
Oh, yeah.
He's noting the key levels, right? Where obviously those would be inflection points where he would look for some type of action, because just getting in right now, there's really nothing there. You're asking for trouble, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's in a very middle range situation. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe he's trying to identify the points where liquidity can be taken by the market. Like
Yes.
to reverse the move.
But
He's waiting for the retest of the breakout of the downtrend. So if you have the last lower highs, if you fit a trend line through it, it has broken out of it, and it's currently retesting, and it was lining up with the red entry zone, which he was identifying.
right, just like he has here.
This
If you
looks like
notice,
a bear flag to me.
he has that low. Notice he has that higher low. He's marking it right now. That's obviously his support zone. He has the higher low developing, but that support zone is probably where his probability is. He's gauging his probability. Like, if a reversal is going to happen, it needs to happen in that zone, or maybe slightly lower. If it goes below that zone, then you're probably breaking the opposite way. I mean, you're breaking on the bearish side, which doesn't seem like that's. I mean, again, I'm not inside of his head, but if I saw something like that, and I saw a support zone just below, and the general market has been strong, I would be looking for longs in that support. I would not be shorting that, because that's asking for trouble. The probability, look, it can work, but the probability is against you. And in this game, you have to work with as much favorable probabilities as you can, right? So that's the situation right here. I mean, he keeps switching it, but there was a higher low in there, and that's really what would prompt me to work on the long side. Where here, look, he's got the resistances marked out.
Yeah, it's at the top of the band down, right?
Right, so he's got that potential lower high. Now that looks like a short idea to me that he's considering there, because you have a series of lower highs. But when I can't see, like,
He's setting up like a long here.
well, on that,
Yeah, he's
right?
setting up along for sure. Yeah, with the risk-reward indicator, like looking
At
for
the top of the red range he wants to enter,
Yeah.
and then trying to get the green.
Oh, so that was Pepe. Okay, so
Yeah.
he was looking at Pepe coin there.
Pepe.
Here we
Pepe.
see
Pepe.
short
okay.
setup.
Oh, Luca.
Luca,
Boiardi.
how's Luca
Hey,
doing?
Luca, how he's doing?
He still looks very
Nice.
stylish.
Oh,
Nice
he's
jacket.
also trading Pepe, his favorite meme coin.
But he was showing a short setup, so that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes.
Earlier, right? Yeah, he was.
Which indicators does he have? Let me see.
It looks like is that a position I see there? Yeah, look, it looks
Oh,
like he has
yeah.
a position and it's green.
RSI.
But
alright.
you have like breakout of this downtrend, right?
Well,
Oh, still consolidating.
you have the consolidation.
But he has got that strong support level. Like
It's still a lower high.
Again, Pepe, he's in Pepe. So a lot of these guys like that Pepe coin.
Pepe.
Pepe.
Yeah, it's like
Pepe.
a meme coin.
Oh, so great. You know what? So we can get Luca. Actually, we can get him on the stream here, and we can ask him some questions.
Yeah, why not?
So
Let's do it.
let's do it. Hey, Luca, let's get onto Luca's screen here and have him join us, and we can act. Oh, he's there. We can talk to him. So Luca, how you doing so far?
Not really well, actually.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
No, actually, what I'm trying to do is to place high-risk positions with a tight stop loss.
Okay.
And with a very high risk-to-reward ratio. So my purpose is having a very low win rate, but with a very high risk-to-reward ratio.
Okay.
But right now, yeah, let's say that I got one position out of 5, so we are still below the average. But
risk is winning.
Yeah, risk is winning,
risk
definitely.
Is winning. Yeah.
Definitely. But we still have one whole day, so it's not over yet.
And do you also have a red jacket for tomorrow?
Oh no, no way, no way. I will
jacket.
never wear red.
Okay.
You're gonna have to put on a green jacket. As long as it's as stylish as that one, we're good, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Look, he's a big bull.
The bull jacket.
Yeah, the bull jacket.
Great. Wow. So
All right.
now, I mean, so Luca, obviously, you know, you've dealt with a little tough market here. I mean, is there anything that you're going to adjust as far as your strategy or philosophy? Now you just described what you were doing, but what else is in your game plan? Do you have anything else in your game plan to help you get out of the situation?
Sure. Tomorrow I will ramp up even more the risk. So
you're going full degen.
Yeah. Here you have to go bust or you have to win. That's
go hard or go home.
Yeah. There's no middle point, you know.
Okay. There is no middle of the range.
He was probably talking to Mauro in the
Mauro,
break.
yeah,
Mauro
maybe.
He probably said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then
Sounds like,
and they probably spoke
Yeah,
Italian, I suspect.
Yeah, for sure. So no one else could.
So you're setting up a short position here, right?
Yeah, on Cardano, but still not reaching the entry level.
Okay.
All right.
I've set up a couple of positions along on Bitcoin, along on Solana.
And what are you looking at for the RSI, for divergences maybe?
No, actually, I look at the market structure, which is usually, right now it's bullish on the higher time frames. And to choose the entry level, I usually look at the liquidity levels below maybe a range on low time frames.
I see.
And that's where I place the entry, with a very tight stop. And as you can see, a high risk to reward ratio. That's the purpose of the strategy.
Now you mentioned that it has not reached your entry price, right? Is that you just said that? Is there a particular type of confirmation that you're looking for that will justify your entry?
Yeah, actually, I put the entry slightly below the shadows of the candle on the local bottom, if it's a long position, or on the local top, if it's a short position, just because usually there's a lot of liquidity and the price goes there, takes the liquidity, and then retraces. And if the structure on the high time frames is long, is bullish, I mean, it's better to do it, of course, on the lower sides of the range to enter a long position.
All right. So you're playing with the ranges out there.
Yeah, I usually like to play with the ranges because I can keep a tight stop and keep a high risk to reward ratio.
You have also the RSI open, right? And I saw it breaking up.
Yeah.
So this is really high risk.
Yeah, actually,
Right.
the RSI, I keep it just to have a look at if the market is oversold or overbought, but I just don't use it as an,
A confirmation.
Well,
to
it
open
breaks
the position.
above the yellow line, so breaking somehow bullish.
Right. So basically, Luca, you're using it sort of as a reference, just a general reference.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a part of your specific strategy.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
That makes sense.
The entry, stop loss and take profit is based just on the price action, on the price levels, that's it. And I also use CVD over there just to have a look if the market are buyers or sellers.
Okay.
And this gives me a hint if the market participation is on one side or the other.
Oh,
Okay.
really nice.
Okay. Wow. So sounds like you have your work cut out for you there. Do you use, now I notice you have volume histogram on your chart. Do you refer to volume at all as part of your strategy?
Yeah, actually I do, but right now I think I had the volume profile before, but I deleted it because it was like making too much noise on the chart, and I wanted to focus more on the price action. But yeah, I just use it on the session to have a look at which levels have the most volumes, because those are the most important levels. They are magnets for price.
Mm-hmm. Have you also seen the breakout of the downtrend? Are you also watching that one through the previous lower highs?
This one, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a breakout, and now we have a retest with.
Yeah, I know, but I actually don't like the breakout and retest stuff on the trends. I do it just on horizontal levels usually.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So you don't use trend lines like.
Yeah, I don't use trend lines usually.
Okay.
Well, great. Luca, thank you so much for your insight here. We're definitely going to come back and ask you again, see how you're doing see if you've improved your position at all. So again, great job. Just keep it going, and we're rooting for you.
Yeah,
Right?
let's do it.
Supporting our Italians. Okay,
Thank
so guys, next thing on here, we have now our winners from our activity that we had earlier from
they
the QR
arrived,
code.
right.
So we're going to go over those
Let's have a
right
look.
now. Let's see what we got. Let's see what our winners put into the Telegram chat, and they're going to be right up on here on the screen. So first, we have what is that? Leon. Lion. Congratulations, Lion. A tournament where who makes more money with using leverage in crypto markets. Okay, is that he left out the question mark, so I'm having a hard time. A tournament where who makes more money using leverage in crypto markets? Well, I mean, essentially, I guess it's really not specifically about who uses more leverage. It's more about who is employing the strategy correctly, or that's in line with what the market is showing. It's not really an issue of leverage, because leverage is a choice that we have to make, and it's either going to work for you or against you, right? But it's going to have a lot to do with your environment. So it's not, I would not characterize this as a tournament. This is what he would be telling a person who doesn't understand this.
Yeah,
you don't want to just limit it to just leverage, because it's about more than that. But it's still a good answer. I mean,
it's balancing.
Right, he won.
If your margin is really high and you have
right, so it's still, hey, look,
see.
that's his answer, and you know what? He won his prize. So
Congratulations.
again, congratulations.
Go big or go
Go
home.
big
Oh,
or
that's
go
that's
home.
what
That's
Mason.
a nice answer.
Sounds like Mauro.
Yeah,
sounds like Mauro.
and Luca just
From
told
Mason,
us that as
yeah.
well.
Good one,
But
good one.
Mason,
All right.
congratulations! You're another winner for the
X Prime memberships,
Prime
from
membership.
X-Travel, yeah.
So again, go big or go home. Great. Our next one here from Kay. Buyers against sellers who win this evening. Okay, I mean, it's a little vague. It could be a little more specific.
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
We have skilled traders. These aren't just buyers and sellers. These are the top guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Next one, Mirza.
Okay, you guys. go on.
Rosaliev.
You guys can pronounce that name.
All right.
A trading tournament is like a game where people try to make the most money on the market in a short time. Whoever makes the most wins. That is the best one I've seen so far.
Yeah,
it's
very
really descriptive.
basic,
Specific.
understandable.
It was specific.
Yeah.
It was clear, and he touched on all the main points of what a trading tournament is like. So
And traders
great
are
job.
actually people, so that's also nice to stress.
great
They get
job.
tired.
Yeah.
Nice job. Okay, so we have Dima. Who make money faster in some conditions?
Same conditions.
With the
Same,
same
conditions.
yeah.
I can't even see. Okay, congratulations again. You're another winner of the X Prime
membership.
membership. Okay.
Calculated
Y
risk-taking.
says calculated risk taking. All right. So again, those are decent answers. Those are
the
aspects.
shortest. Yeah.
They're aspects of the tournament, but there's definitely more going on than just calculated risk taking. But that's a pretty good answer. But there is more to it than that. If you're going to explain this to someone who doesn't know what a trading tournament is,
Maybe we should ask why.
ask why.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice joke. Nice joke.
Yeah, I just got it went over my head.
It was a bit too.
Yeah,
yeah.
too complicated
yeah.
for me. All right, so we have Volodymyr. Hey, I'm watching a one-time altcoin trading tournament where everyone starts with the same virtual fund and goes head-to-head to see
Sounds ChatGPT, man.
who can boost their portfolio the most. It's all about strategic altcoin picks and live rivalries. Whoever wrote that knows this tournament really, really well, because they described it to a T. Vladimir right there. So I have a suspicion I might know who that is. I have a suspicion, but I don't know. We won't talk about that right now. But that is a very good answer.
Only altcoins. Bitcoin is also included, right? So it's not.
Right.
Not
So
really
okay. So right, he could have maybe put Bitcoin in there. But that is a very good answer for someone who doesn't understand what this is. Okay, Nur. Emotional breakout. Okay, wow, that's probably the least informative answer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you still won. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, but
weird
answer.
A little more than 2 words, my friend. Manson is back here. He says, source of necessary knowledge. All right, well, that's another, again, a component of this. It's certainly an aspect. But there's a lot more to a trading tournament for someone who doesn't know what a trading tournament
Yeah,
is.
exactly. He had to respond really fast.
Yeah.
It was in
Okay, so
only
it's good
15
effort.
seconds.
Good effort, and congratulations once
exactly.
again. That's, you know, it's a good try. KK, it's like Counter-Strike tournament, but for traders.
Oh, this one I like it.
So
yeah.
tell us, what is a Counter-Strike tournament?
Counter-Strike is a very popular video game. It is making a similarity with e-games.
Ah.
You know?
So that's a pretty good, so for people who understand video games, that kind of summarizes it all in one word.
Yeah.
Okay, so good answer. Thanks, KK. And
Yeah.
congratulations on your X Prime membership. All
Well
right.
deserved, well deserved.
Yes, that's a
Counter-Strike
very
player.
efficient
Yeah.
answer. All right, who's next? We have
Seri.
1409.
Sergio 409, Bear versus Bull. Now, these guys talk about less is more. I mean, yeah, these guys are keeping it simple.
Another one that has had like 10 seconds left to answer.
Right. Oh, they waited right till the 10 seconds. But
He
that's
spelled it correctly, at least.
At least.
for sure, for
So,
sure.
hey, guys, some great answers. Congratulations to all of our winners. Great job. Thank you for your participation, and enjoy your X Prime memberships. Now, for those of you that missed out, again, keep in mind, we're going to have more of these activities planned for tomorrow. So you want to make sure that you are tuned in, and you want to make sure you are glued to that computer screen. So when that QR code pops up, you are on it. Okay? Because again, just like one of these traders, you cannot afford to hesitate. What do you guys think?
Oh yes, there are a lot of prizes, and you see they are easy to win. So
Yeah.
it is worth a try.
Take
for sure.
advantage.
Take advantages.
Capitalize on it. These are opportunities, whether it's a T-shirt, an X Prime membership, or anything else that comes up. I mean, pretty much for these activities, that's what you're going to see.
And also grab some knowledge here. because
Yes.
There are
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
the most valuable
A
part.
ton of knowledge, right? That's like that's the biggest
biggest
takeaway
thing they can take away.
that you're getting from
Even
this.
if it's not winning.
best part is that
Right.
one for sure.
Right. So let's look at our main stage traders
we
here.
got, we got a leaderboard.
Nice. Let's see.
It has
No
changed.
surprise there with Motto. I mean, you know,
We
let's
ta-
see.
it-
Malik
it's-
is still number 2.
It has changed a bit since the last time we had a look at it.
But Max, it looks like, has changed position,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Max,
Is Max or
scaled into the 3rd place. This is very nice.
who was 3rd before? Do you remember?
He was 4th, as far as I remember.
And
like,
what,
a
Merlin,
couple
was
hours.
Merlin 3rd? Who
Oh,
was
yeah?
3rd?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
I can remember who was the 3rd one.
Okay.
But Malik and Mauro Kaimi
They're still up
at-
there.
They are doing very well. Yeah.
And how about, let's see, so it looks like there's been some changes, right? So Yevgev Loza, he's still in the negative, right? So our top 3 guys are on the positive, and then everyone else is still in the red. They're still trying to fight their way back.
Yeah.
Right? So we have also, so Luca, now Luca was, I think, about in the same position, right?
Yeah. He was 6th. Yeah.
And then Katya,
And Merlin is breaking positive, right?
right, he's just
Yeah.
about getting green there, right? So we have our green guys and we have our red guys.
And Mus Money is really also having a nice,
nice
unrealized
comeback.
P&L.
He
Yeah.
came back a bit. I think he was
He's
worse, wasn't he?
He's coming back as
He's-
promised in
He's the comeback
the
kid, but he
intro,
still needs
yeah.
to do some more coming back.
We already
because-
called him like that this morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Comeback kid.
Yeah.
he's still working on it. So we have faith.
But we have 2 traders without an open trade. So
We still have, right,
Yeah, we have Malik
Malik and Kostya.
and Kostya, yeah. Sure.
right. So very cool to see. So now look, we have guys, we have this assets analysis chart. So we basically can see here what the traders are.
The balance of from the beginning, like they all began with, am I correct, right?
50K.
Yeah,
Right.
50K, yeah.
And how it's played out so far throughout the day.
2 big outliers.
I
Mus
mean, we
Money
see
at the
we see
bottom.
Mus Money, right?
Yeah,
And
Kaimi on the top, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So those are our extremes. And then look, everyone else is like in the middle of the range.
Yeah, they are.
Interesting, right?
They're ranging like the.
They're inside that consolidation, which
Yeah.
which tells us that they must be doing a similar. I would imagine they're all employing similar strategies or have a similar perspective, right? Because they're all sort of producing a similar result.
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, that would be my theory on it. And Mus is just, maybe he tried to take a bigger risk and it just hasn't worked out. And this is a chance you take. I mean,
yeah,
this
but
is a
it's coming
situation.
slightly up.
Right, he's coming up a bit, right? And who knows, maybe he'll come back and he'll win this thing. But basically, he may have taken a big chance that just hasn't worked out, and this is the chance you take.
At least he took the risk, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You got to take the chance, but you have to be, if this is the outcome, hey, you got to deal with the cards that you've been given. You just have to work with it and then try to come back.
And there's some natural resistance at 60K.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're getting into the individual nominations here. Let's see how this has changed a bit. So, Nick, who's our first guy?
The first guy is called Distinct Clayton, as far as I can see, on trading score. Then we got the first of the highest ratio of winning trades with 100%, which is Tasteless Die. Then we got the highest individual trading volume with alpha of a million of trading volume, which is second Shiba Inu. And then we got the highest profit from a single trade with $47 from Yellow Polygon. Interesting.
Nice job, you guys.
Yeah.
So
we got whole a bunch of players and situation there.
Now here are the squads.
Nominations. The best ROI.
Squad nominations. Let's see.
We have Holder Heb with best ROI of 4,000.
That's massive, man. That's massive.
He's
really
up
4.9K% up. All right, nice. Congratulations.
So I won't mention the other two.
Yeah, they are like standard numbers. But
as they would say in Italy, bravo.
Bravo.
Bellissimo.
Bel lavoro.
Sì.
Bellissimo, sì.
Okay, wow.
Right.
So, and then who do you have second there? You have, is that Kala?
Koala is up with 302%, which is not bad, but compared to 4.9K, it's.
I know
it's a fraction. It's a small fraction.
It's a pale comparison.
And then we've got CryptoJid, which has scored at 22.9%.
Wow. Okay, so he's got a little ways to go, but hey, at least he's on the leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, for stock market, it would have been a great result, but in crypto, it is like
it's like
it's standard.
You're like a beginner. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Very interesting. Yeah. Wow. So it's very nice to see those squad nominations again. Congratulations to the squads that have made it onto the leaderboard there.
Oh yes.
Very nice to see the participation. So. So the next thing, remember, guys, that we have the voting. You guys remember that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We have the voting.
There is a prize pool also for the voting of the squads, right?
Right. How does that work? You got to refer. I know we have a situation where we can vote for our main traders here. I mean, we have all these events that you can vote for, right? And if you go to the main page of the ICTC 2025 challenge, users that can get on there, they can actually place votes and win money if their outcome comes true. It's like event betting.
Yes, there is a prize pool also for voting, actually, yeah, also for the squads.
So people at home, don't forget, you can participate in many ways here and take advantage of all kinds of ways to win, whether it's some prize money, or it's one of these great, giveaways that we have. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. So now moving along, I have to say, like these guys here, as you can see, we don't have a whole lot of time left.
Yeah, just 27 minutes left for today.
Nearing the end of today, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, remember, we have a whole other day tomorrow. We have another 6 hours tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning also, maybe we will have some surprises, because the orders left open tonight will be counted, right?
Yeah, if any of these guys take home overnights.
Yeah, if they want, of course.
The guys we spoke to, it seemed like the sentiment was, we're not really interested in overnights. We're just going to go flat. I mean, that was what we were hearing in the beginning.
They want to see what's happening.
And I'm curious if that has changed as we get near the close of our first day.
Yeah, some were still undecided, so.
And going into our second day, it's going to be interesting to see, now, are the laggards going to really start pushing? Because tomorrow is it. Like as Luca was telling us, tomorrow he's going to really start pushing it to make his comeback, because we still have a whole other day.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the thing is, Saturdays in the crypto market is I mean, it could be a good day, possibly, because I've seen some wild moves on a Saturday.
Yeah,
Me too.
So, sometimes it happens because it's a never closing market. So
Right, it's a 24-hour market, 7-day-a-week market.
yeah, it may be the case that traders that cannot trade the stock market move on crypto on weekend.
It could be, but usually there's some type of catalyst, like maybe some
Yeah,
type of news comes
exactly.
out of some country somewhere
Well,
and it has a major effect.
We have a catalyst in these days. Bitcoin broke over 100K.
Well, sure, but what I'm referring to is maybe some announcement, surprise announcement
news,
comes out of nowhere, and then it leads to all of this action. But typically, Saturdays are a tough day. So who we're looking at here, we're back to, is that, what chart do we have there? I can't, so let's move up a little
Oh,
bit
it's
closer.
Ripple.
Okay. Oh,
Ripple.
XRP, the infamous
Looking
XRP.
for a long here.
And we have Kostya over here. Look, he is in heavy concentration. He is focused. He is looking. Okay.
Is
Now-
zapping through the charts.
Yes. Behind. I mean, look at those eyes. They're like solid. Now I'm looking at what he's looking at there. He has some zones drawn, right? I see his charts are very simple. He doesn't have oscillators all over the place, which is usually a good thing in my opinion.
Looks like he's trading like patterns and points of interest, liquidity in the chart.
Right, right. Well, he's picking these. Notice he has inflection points on his chart, right? He has support and resistance levels. He has the high selected on there. You see that? So that's something like in this situation, he has the support area noted. Perhaps he's looking for a retrace into that area, and he's looking for at least some type of mean reversion move. But again, we're smack in the middle of the range. So that's probably why he's jumping around so much. There's nothing to do. There's just really nothing to do here.
He's waiting. He's waiting, man.
Yeah.
It's all a game of patience.
Right.
It's patience.
But the
that pays
question
off.
is, like,
Sniping.
Yeah,
I'd love to
sniping
know
off, yeah.
specifically what he's looking for in this situation, because that's a tough chart right there.
But we have here a kind of double bottom, right? At the resistance line, he drew. We have
double-
which
which-
broke out, like the black horizontal, you see?
Yes, but it looks like a common
We
level
have
there.
like a double bottom below it, broke out, retested the black,
Right,
and it's now pumping.
right, a bit. All right, and I noticed he marked this area right here on the
Exactly.
chart, and I'm wondering what that represents. Maybe that could possibly be a failed low area where he's anticipating the fake out, because a lot of times when you have a pattern like this, it fakes out. The thing is, you're still dealing with a double bottom, and since like this, see this right here, he's got that marked. He's got another higher low right there. See these higher lows?
Yeah, exactly.
Those are characteristic of strength. Those are characteristics of strength typically. So it's like, is he looking to buy the pullback? I'd love to know, because in a situation like that, he may not have much of a choice. He may have to buy
We
that.
have Max
He's trying to put
here.
some numbers up on the screen.
Next up, Doge.
Dogecoin, okay,
Pepe.
from Max.
It's going hard on meme coins, looks like.
Look at that. I mean, look at that chart right there. I mean,
Look at
that is total bull right there.
It is perfect.
I mean, you could see if,
trend line.
Parabola, right?
if you look at the wave count, this is a clear-cut impulse. I mean, I'm not going to get into the details of that right now. I don't want to confuse people, but this looks like a 4, and it looks like he's looking for the breakout for 5.
I would use a log chart here. Still linear, but it's clearly exponential move.
But he's got this breakout. You see, he's got that trend line break.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I like this style.
that could be
Alright.
that can actually be a signal. That can qualify as a signal to go long. When you have a trend line break like that, when you have the counter trend line, and once the price breaks above it, a lot of times it may retest the trend line or maybe pull back a bit and then off it goes, especially when you have a clear-cut impulse that looks like that. I mean, that looks like a wave 4 to a 5.
Yeah, you can
And-
also see the volume kicking in.
Yes.
Right? But
Yeah,
that's also maybe
High volumes, yeah.
Yeah, high volume.
What
during
time frame is that, by the way?
30
This-
minutes.
30 minutes. All
30
right.
minutes, right. So you have this
Not
30
so
minutes.
insane. Like, I mean, it's quite decent for an intraday. It's not second chart.
Right,
Oh, exactly.
right. But this is a tough situation on a 30-minute chart, because again, you have the breakout, but it's the momentum is drying up. You could see the volume tapering
Yeah,
off. You
exactly.
see that?
They are
And
disappearing. for
This
sure.
notice you have the spike in volume, so you have momentum.
I would
But-
like to see the bottom trend line through the bottoms here on the logarithmic chart, because when that one breaks, the whole
You're
chart.
talking about this here?
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
talking about
So-
this bullish trend line?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
That's a support.
in this configuration right now,
Looks
he
like,
should
yeah.
be working on the long side. I mean, that would be my choice if that was my chart. But it's a 30-minute, so it can take a while for this to unfold. It could take a few hours. You know, if this is a 1-minute chart, this would be another story, right? But when you see 30-minute volume tapering off like that,
There's 20 minutes left, right?
Yeah.
yeah, like, I feel bad for this guy, man. I would not want to be in that chair right now because he's got to sit there and maybe it follows through, but the probability is low, in my opinion, because you just don't have the volume, and there's nothing he can do about that.
Well, maybe he's deciding to keeping it an overnight
This
trade.
may be an
Yeah,
overnight choice.
Maybe
Yeah,
it
just-
can be a choice, yeah.
Just
sure.
opening a final trade, really high leverage, and go
Because-
back tomorrow as in the first place.
Over the next few hours, this thing may start working its way up, especially if Bitcoin continues. A lot of these coins typically follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin leads the way or just stays strong, this may catch up, and he may get a big gain while he's sleeping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a possibility. It's just this coin again. Is this Doge? No, Pepe. That's Pepe.
Pepe,
coin.
Pepe.
Pepe.
Yeah, yeah.
Why can't I get that name right, man?
Pepe is also right.
It's fine, Pepe.
Not Pepsi.
Then we have XLM, Stellar. Stellar Lumens.
So here we have a breakdown, right?
Now notice right here, he has a trend line, has the trend line break.
Yeah.
Now in this situation, now this gets tricky.
Also
because
volume getting lower.
Yeah, have a look at the volumes. Like they
volume
are draining
tapering off. We're going to see that
Yeah, draining
across the
off.
board because just time of day. It's just
Yeah.
it's just a seasonal time of day thing, right?
Yeah.
We're going to see that taper off, which is bad for them because it's a lack of momentum. It takes away from the potential of momentum,
Oh, yes.
right? But in this situation, you have the trend line break. And this can be very tricky because people typically think, oh, it's a short now. But markets don't typically go from bullish to bearish and bearish to bullish. They're not binary like that. Typically what happens is the market will consolidate after such a break. So as this is potentially...
Getting in a higher time frame consolidation, yeah.
This is
I agree.
potentially a long, even though he has this trend line break and it broke. Don't make the mistake of thinking this is a short because, again, like I said, markets are not binary. What I would be looking for in this situation is the failed low, right? Because you have the consolidation, you have maybe a test of low, right? I would actually draw a trend line right in this area right here.
It's testing that low right now.
This one, right? See, so test of low, and maybe you get what I like to call a compound double bottom, right? Failed low situation where you have like a little mini double bottom right here, followed by the
right.
confirmation. If I saw that, I would be long the world. If I saw
Right.
something like that,
100x.
I would ask for another 50K, and I'd be like, give me 100K. I want to go all in now. If I saw
Right here, right now.
that's
Alright,
that's how
Even
convinced-
with drying volume.
well, because even with the declining volume,
You're
because
waiting-
here's the thing: when you have that consolidation, of course you're not going to have volume before the momentum burst, right? So what will happen typically is, if it holds and we get the confirmation, volume will come in to the market, and then you'll see the spike, right? You'll see. So you can't. When the spike is there, the volume has been done. It's transpired. It's over. So you want to be in before the volume spike, right? And so you can get that type of insight from the candles themselves.
So he's maybe too late for a long then because
Well-
we have a great
At this time, it's just a little. It's early. There's nothing there at the time. All I'm saying is be careful of these breaks because it's not. I would not qualify that as a short.
Exactly.
In order for the short to really be more convincing, I'd have to see support breaks. We don't have that.
And it's also a long range down to another lower high.
Right. That's it. So that general structure, I mean, that's totally bullish. So if it unfolds over the next few hours or whatever, and we get that reversal formation, I mean, that looks like a long to me if it can follow through. Now remember, it's always up to the market. I can sit here all day long and talk about, oh, chart this, chart that, and this is what it can do. But when the day is over, it's up to the market, and I can be wrong, right? And I always accept that fact. And the thing is, if I see that I'm wrong, like everything that I just described, if it turns out I don't get the confirmation, or I do, but then it fails, I'm out. Sometimes I won't even wait for the stop, just out, get out. You cannot hesitate with that because you need, like we talked about earlier, your reward-risk ratio needs to reflect a positive expectancy. You have to have, you cannot lose more than what you win. That is the key to this game. All right, so Look at this comparison we
Yeah,
have
we
here.
got Mauro Caimi over Merlin. So,
What does this look like?
Both a
walk
Bitcoin.
up
Oh, Bitcoin.
What
Mauro,
goes
Mauro is actually short, and I think, yeah.
Look at this.
100x
100x.
level.
This guy is all in.
Oh, it's
Merlin-
the time for the hard ones.
Merlin's
Right.
had enough. This
How
guy
mu-
is starting to, push over here.
How much margin? How much margin? 2K. Okay.
Well, quite a lot margin because his liquidation price lies still at 89k. So it's not 100x
Oh,
trade.
he's going with a cross leverage there.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, he put a lot of margin, man.
Yeah, it's
a
really
lot of margin.
high risk.
So, and look at where we are with our realized P&L. I mean, Mauro is still
$9. Yeah.
he's still okay. He's up there. This guy doesn't have anything yet. And the unrealized though,
Just
look at
open the
this.
trade.
Yeah, minus
Minus 148, right,
Yeah.
versus 763. So he's got him beat there.
That is a nice move, I must say.
I mean, he's trying. Like
Pretty risky.
we're starting to see some changes in their activity or in their philosophy because time is running out.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's at the same price point, right?
Right.
Both trades are
Yeah,
on the
they
same
both
price
have
point.
a very high
opposite
liquidation
direction.
price also.
Right.
by the way, yeah.
We have, again, this is a great example of, you need two opinions to make a market.
Exactly. We need Mauro and Merlin, and then
Yeah.
we have the market, right?
Right.
We have to
someone
market, yeah.
someone is
Two
going to
views
be
of the
right and
market.
someone's going to be wrong, and it's going to be up to the market, right? You don't take it personal. So, I mean, it's interesting to see that, because if you have a seller, you need a buyer, and vice versa. One of these guys is going to be wrong. So, I mean, are they at the same price basically? He bought at 103.021, and this guy sold
almost.
at
Very
149.
very similar, yeah.
So
Very
it's
They picked up the same resistors or support.
It's
key levels.
close, right? It's close. He bought it at just a little bit lower, maybe about 100 points lower than where he shorted it, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, now again, we were talking about that Bitcoin chart. We saw nothing but strength. Now, look, we have the traders open positions
We have mass money.
with
Mass
Mus
money.
over here.
He really needs to do something, right? So where's the risk?
All right, so he's still got the Trump coin.
He realized a very nice move on Trump coin. 1.3K.
Yeah, that's really nice. Big
Yeah.
one. Big
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so
But he's also down -1.
Pepe has hurt him.
Pepe.
Yeah,
Pepe's his biggest
is
loss
hurt,
there.
He's hurt him very
Pepe.
bad. Yeah.
How do you say it again?
Pepe.
Okay. JTO. Do you know that
Oh.
coin? Do you know that coin, Nick? JTO?
No, I don't know that. I don't know that.
I'm
Should
not,
you know a coin to trade it?
I mean, yeah, that's true. You don't really need. It's just a bunch of. It's just a symbol. I mean, a chart is a chart. You just have to know how to
yeah.
read charts. We have Solana over here, but these are not. That's like flat. I mean, it's minus $19. That's okay. And then LDO. Were you guys talking about that earlier?
Yeah, it's
Lido.
Lido.
Oh.
Lido, liquid staking protocol for Ethereum.
Okay. That's another big pain point for him there. So I mean, he's trying to do something, but he still needs some work.
It doesn't add up just yet.
Yeah, needs to do its magic, as he's famous for.
Now a guy like the comeback kid over here, I would anticipate. I could be wrong, but I think this guy may go for the overnights. What do you think?
Well,
Maybe he should.
Not sure. Did you talk with him?
I was not able to speak to him behind the scenes. He was busy, but I mean, some of these guys, it might be a viable strategy to just take that chance because you need to get that pop somewhere, and if there's a good move overnight and he happens to be on the right side, it will put him in a much better position when we start the day tomorrow. So some people are going to need it.
That could be interesting because they can use higher time frames with less noise.
Yes.
Right,
They
so
can-
over the night.
exactly.
I mean, they
Yeah.
can use
So
4
working
hours,
like a swing
1
trade,
hour,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe they're more used to do that.
And double their time in the markets, right?
Right.
Because it's twice 6 hours, and in 12 hours. it will
Oh,
be the
also,
next.
yes,
Yeah, so
also.
double the time in the market.
Yes, they
So-
gotta play like smart orders, like to fill as much as they can if they want.
Yeah, but
to
the order should already be open. The trade.
Yeah, I mean, they need to think smartly about the orders they
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
leave open during the
But
night.
it could be really nice ones.
Like it may just like randomly work out their way. And
I
they're
would
gonna-
do it.
They're going to come back a
I would
hero.
do it, yeah.
They're going to come back a hero. See now, you know, the question I ask my question to myself, would I do that if I was in this situation and I had this, I was all red? I mean, when your back is against the wall and you're in a situation like this, yeah, it might make sense to take that risk. But really what would determine it for me is the charts. If the charts are looking like then just I know my personality type, I probably wouldn't take the risk.
You wouldn't?
It depends. If I was red, now if I was like Mauro, I definitely wouldn't, because I'd be like, why should I take that risk?
Me too. If I was in Mauro, never ever. But you know.
But when you're with the back against your wall, I mean, maybe what I would do, maybe I would go halfway. What I would do is I would maybe take partial.
Yeah, maybe
try to take partial overnight to see if I get a little bonus. And because for me,
I would be all in. It's going home or going. I think, yeah.
I guess you guys, you make a good point. I mean, I just tend to be a little risk averse, and I'm always, because as a trader, your priority should be risk. Right? I'm one of these guys, I don't sit there and think, oh, I make all kinds of money. No, it's about risk. Money is a byproduct. Money is a byproduct of good risk management. So if you can manage risk well, you should come out ahead. Otherwise, if you're all about chasing the money, I like to call them Ferrari chasers. Like you're not going to get very far being a Ferrari chaser.
Normally, I fully agree, but it's a competition, right?
Yes.
So they need to step up the games to really win or go home empty-handed.
You know what, and that makes sense. I have to keep that in mind as well. This is a competition,
So,
and if you're in a certain situation, what do we have here?
Malik.
Malik is back. Let's see what we have going on with Malik. I like getting closer to these
trading
charts.
the great classics, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Cardano.
Wow, okay.
Or at least looking for an entry, I guess, yeah?
Now, notice Malik, what he has over here, he has a bunch of these boxes drawn on here.
I think one is the risk-reward box, and the other is like an area of interest.
Well, I think he's just overlapped a couple of gray boxes.
Yeah, some Fibonacci ranges, I guess.
Well, I think what he's got here, because see, I spoke to him earlier, and we have a very similar strategy. Everything he described, I'm like, man, that sounds like some of the stuff I do. And it looks like he's highlighting these areas where a fake out is likely, right? This resistance area, he's got this resistance highlighted, and we're in basically the fake out zone. Like in this spot right here, I would not be in a hurry to buy this breakout. What is a 5-minute chart? So if you get a confirmation here, a bearish confirmation, that might be a nice quick short, and just look for some sort of pullback back to this support. But that's, it's a little aggressive. This thing is generally bullish, but do you really want to buy it here, like after it's broken out a little bit?
Yeah, but there was a little shakeout to the downside, right? You can see the whole lower low there.
This?
Yeah, that was a great shakeout, and now it's breaking upwards. So maybe that's another shakeout for the bears. Keep ranging, or breaking above the box he drew.
Well, but I think he's highlighting this area.
Yeah,
because he's looking at that resistance.
It's a decision area, whether it continues to the upside or
look at the red
breaks
candle.
down.
Look at the red candle developing. Now see, that could be the confirmation candle. I don't know what he uses for confirmation.
It could also be the final shakeout.
Well, the thing is, this could be the short. Right, like, because you get these people that bought that breakout. If the breakout doesn't go, like for example, if I was long and I saw that, I would be out, because that is not what you should see. When you get a breakout, momentum flows, it continues. So the next candle should be big and green, especially on a 5-minute. If I see this, I'd be like, this isn't working. And I would be looking to get out of that, right? So that would be a possible short right there. I don't know what he's thinking, but I notice he has this area highlighted a lot. And I suspect that he may be thinking in a similar way. Also, what does he have? Now, this is Cardano and he has Ethereum.
On a daily time frame.
These are daily time frames?
A 1 hour time frame.
So he's daily, right, daily. And then that's daily, and this is at 1 hour. Okay. So those are interesting time frames. The daily, look at this, on Cardano, that's a bearish pin bar. In a location where a bearish pin bar is highly likely. So now that, because the general trend is bullish, like this is a bullish move, he's noting the low. You see that? The low of the pin bar. So that's a potential short as well. Right.
But we saw this pin bar on Bitcoin at 95K as well, and we know it's at 103 right now. So you see it also quite often, an inverse hammer, right before a big breakout.
Right, but let's talk, pin bars,
resistance.
Candlesticks are very random, right? A candlestick pattern can appear randomly. And where it appears, its location is really a big factor, the context of the location. And that's really going to give you a sign. So like we said, you saw a pin bar at 95K, and look, we're higher. The pin bar doesn't guarantee we're changing the trend, but the pin bar does tell us that there's temporary bearish momentum, right? And as a day trader,
there's resistance,
right?
Obviously,
and I could capitalize, maybe even on a small bite. I'd be happy with that. And then eventually, you may just break higher anyway. But I don't care about where it's going to be tomorrow as a day
I
trader.
see. Yeah, it's a different time frame.
So you just have to understand the random nature of these
Next up,
candles. So Merlin, we're back with
Merlin
here.
With Edera and Bitcoin.
What does he have here? Bitcoin, okay, and
H bar, yeah.
Right, I can't even pronounce that. All right, he's partying, man. What's going on over here? He's partying. Yeah, Merlin.
He's pushing the price.
He's looking at the trophy, right?
Merlin's coming. He's starting to push now. He's starting to get the juices going here. All right, so Merlin again was the guy that gave us some. He gave us some insight into his thinking with the illustrations on his chart, right? He had those little drawings.
And also, we had a small talk earlier in the pause, and he's a very patient guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were talking about
it might be a wise strategy, you know? Like, as far as you can see, he's third, I mean. Yeah.
Right. So
we can see that Bitcoin has broken above this VPVR. You see? We have here... in yellow and blue, we have the mid-range.
Right, this is the profile, right?
Yeah, and the main part with the heaviest density, price is broken above it.
Barely. Look, I mean, look at this. So we have this. This is the bulge, right? This bulge.
Yeah.
This price has spent most time inside of this consolidation. This is typical of a consolidation because price obviously spends a lot of time inside this area, right? So,
but it's above the main support. It could take breakthrough here.
It's the thing is, if that thing, in that situation, I mean, that looks to me like a mean reversion situation, right? Because if we get, we're basically fooling around still in the range of that bulge. If we go above it and we start to maybe spike a bit, that might be one of those situations where you can look for the reversion back into that bulge area because it becomes like a magnet when everyone is long or short in such an area like that.
To retest it.
To go back inside the area, right.
Yeah, and on lower time frames, you're right. On a bigger time frame, it could break out, but first a retest of the same zone.
Right, like everything that I'm saying here really is just, everything that I'm saying refers to the small time frames, right? So just to be clear, I myself, I trade very small time frames. So just like Alessandro.
What's the smallest you did?
Yeah, what's the smallest?
15 seconds.
Okay.
15 seconds.
Yeah, I did 1 second.
I mean, I've tried those charts.
We all did.
I don't. That gets ridiculous. That's like HFT. You need an algo to trade those. But I was going to say, just like Alessandro and Nick here are the experts in food, I'm the expert in small time frames. I mean, I can tell you anything you want to know about small time frames. Right. So guys, we're now coming to the close of the show. We just have a few minutes left.
All right.
And I mean, what a day! Like, so what to you? Like, what were the highlights for you today? Like, what got you excited today? After all the things that we've seen, what stands out the most?
Well, the leaderboard for me.
What about
the leaderboard? Not because of the guy, but because of the huge distance from the first to the other guys,
So I mean, like how Mauro, the Italian stallion, how he jumped out in front of the herd like instantly. He was the first one out there.
That was impressive.
And yes, it was, right? And now everyone is like kind of struggling to keep, to keep pace and trying to not let him go too far.
Yeah, it's mind games.
I mean, yeah, like that's got to work on you. That's got to be stressful. When you see this guy jump ahead, and it's not like Malik is not exactly behind him. Malik is close.
Well, it's very close also. Yeah.
He needs work. So tomorrow now, what are we going to see here? What can our viewers expect tomorrow when we start this?
Tomorrow will even be more crazy than this because time will be shrinking, very fast. And the ones that are in the bottom, if they want to go back up, they need to go hard.
Right.
They need to go very hard.
They need to take risks, so there will be outliers and really quick moves
So tomorrow is going to be basically like a balls to the wall day. Like you're going to have to, you're in it or you're out.
Or
I mean,
yes.
Like
Go
You
big or
can't
go
just
home.
fold. You need to lose to leave stage here.
so you might as well just go all in and just close your eyes because that's
Maybe go hard or go home. At
That-
least I would do that.
Yeah.
If I was in their situation. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? So we're going to leave it here with our audience. Join us tomorrow. Make sure you come back because things are going to get intense. This was a very interesting day. Bitcoin was trying to get its act together, but we were in a range. These traders had a lot of hardship to deal with. So tomorrow we're going to see the guys now. They're going to have to put everything on the line, and we're going to see how it goes. So it should be an interesting day. Plus, we have all our giveaways and other activities. So please join us, and we'll see you then.
The opening
Right.
will be very exciting, I believe.
Yeah, can't wait to see. Can't wait to see how it starts with the overnight operations also. So, see you
Yes.
all tomorrow, I guess, right?
Right. So yeah, we'll get to them. We'll come back. We'll tune in, and yeah, it will be cool to see how those overnights work,
Oh yes.
or who takes
If there are
overnights.
any, of course, yeah.
That's going to be a great way to start this thing, and see if that changes the leaderboard
Yeah.
at all. So
And the people home can still participate on their own tomorrow for a whole day.
Yeah, for sure.
that's right.
Squads,
And
solo traders.
Be eligible for prizes.
Oh yeah,
and,
they can join. They can join
huge.
also, yeah.
Everything you can find on the landing page of ICTC 2025 of Whitebit. Just
Yeah.
Google it.
Right. That's right. That's right. So hey, again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we got a clap. All right. Yeah, I wasn't sure how to wrap that up.
No, it was okay.
And they're like, "Don't say goodbye." I was like,
I'll make the money like magic. Let's go. I like the green. I get a taste and become a fiend. I make it seem like it really do be growing on trees. It's all I can see. It's all that I do, all that I breathe. I got the cheese, making more bread than the bakery. It's magic. I'll make the money like magic. I'll make the money like magic. I'll make the money like magic. I'm in the zone. I do what I do it alone. Tough as a bone. Mind made of steel, heart out of stone. I'm a magician. I'm full of tricks, but I never show. I'm at the top, loving the view from up on my throne. Yeah, from up on my throne.